하나, 둘, 셋. 안녕하세요, 와이프입니다. 네, 이번에 에픽 세븐 음악에 참여하게 되었습니다. 반갑습니다. 재밌게 작업을 해서 즐거웠고요. 오랜만에 좀 강한 락을 이 게임의 어떤 색깔 때문에 만들게 되어서 아주 신나는 일이었습니다. 네.
일단은 되게 재밌게 작업했고, 그러니까 저희가 잘하는 사운드와는 조금 좀 거리가 있는 그런 사운드였는데, 후반 작업할 때 좀 이것저것 많이 시도를 해봤어요. 그런 점이 되게 재밌었고, 후반 작업에서 저희가 잘 하지 않는 시도들을 좀 해봤는데 결과가 좋아서 되게 만족스럽고 또 하나의 뭔가 팁을 얻은 것 같아서 되게 좋은 경험이었습니다.
곡 만들 때 이제 어떤 스타일로 만들면 좋겠을까를 제작진분들과 논의할 때 많이 강했으면 좋겠다라고 말씀해 주셨고요. 그런 어떤 토너먼트의 뭐 등장 음악 같은 그런 느낌이었으면 좋겠다. UFC 같은 거 보면서 등장 음악을 좀 참고를 많이 했었고, 가사는 게임을 검색을 해서 봤더니 싸우는 게임이어서 내가 더 우월하다라는 걸 좀 과시할 수 있는 강한 가사를 좀 써봤어요. 호준 씨가 얘기했던 것처럼 저희 YB의 그런 어떤 음악 성향과 가사 성향과는 사뭇 다른 그런 작업이어서 오히려 더 그게 재밌었던 것 같아요. 인빈시블까지는 아니지만 그래도 한국에서 27년 동안 밴드를 했으니까 오래 하고 있다. 잘 살고 있다. 라고까지는 얘기할 수 있을 것 같습니다. 예. 이제 게임을 하다가 질 수도 있잖아요. 졌을 때 이 음악을 듣고 다시 하자. 좀 포기하지 말자. 꼭 이기고 말 테야. 뭐 이런.
저희 YB의 몫이 이제 에픽 세븐에 관한 그 음악에 관한 이제 한 50%를 저희들의 몫이었다면, 이제 유저분들이 과연 이게 어떻게 느끼면서 음악을 하게 되실지 저도 직접 게임에 참여하면서 같이 느껴보겠습니다. 기대됩니다.
네, 에픽 세븐 게임 즐겁게 하시고요. 저는 게임 중독이 좀 심했어서 사실 지금 저는 게임을 끊고 있는 상태인데 한번 저도 도전해 보겠습니다.
예, 저희가 만든 음악과 게임과 아주 매칭이 잘 되어서 게임 하실 때 아주 즐겁게 하셨으면 좋겠습니다.
네, 또 기회가 된다면 저희가 락 페스티벌에서 또 할 수도 있으니까 게임 하시다가 답답하시면 페스티벌에 오셔서 같이 싸우진 마시고 헤드뱅잉 하시다가 가셨으면 좋겠습니다. 네.
Okay, I hope you guys go wild with Epic 7, and I hope our music makes a difference for you. And the most important thing, enjoy.
네, 에픽 세븐 많이 사랑해 주시고요. 그리고 YB가 만들어 드린 에픽 세븐의 음악 인빈서블도 많이 사랑해 주십시오. 감사합니다.
everyone. Welcome to the stream. I'm Arky. Of course not. I'm G Clef. Welcome to Epic 7 World Arena Championship. This is day number 4. We have the Japanese qualifiers, and later in the stream today, in just about 6 hours to be exact, there will be European qualifiers too. Here, Arky Plush. This is exactly what you can get through the event, and I believe this is also available for merchandise. If you want to get it, it's very cushiony and soft. Just to let you guys out there, it's pretty cool. Of course, again, I'm not here alone. I'm here, but with Kana and with Jenna Zed. Hey guys.
Hey, what's up?
Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone, or afternoon, morning, all that.
Wherever you are.
Yeah.
Yep, and today we will have one player from Japan, one player from Europe. Of course, starting with the Japan first. A server that opened up quite a lot later compared to the other servers, but still very strong competitors out there. I know you guys have been fighting some of them in RTA. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with at least some of them. Well, we'll get to see 8 best players from the server. What do you guys really expect to see from the Japanese server today?
Well, there's some players that have some pretty insane gear, and I think some of you guys see screenshots of it around of something crazy like, I don't know, a 290 Landy with a ton of damage or stuff like that. They have all sorts of weird tech and different play styles and units than what a lot of other people like to use.
Oh.
Yeah, I think this, I definitely think, I think I mentioned it a little bit towards the end of last night's stream. I think this is the experimental server. I think if we're going to see unexpected picks, people kind of get, I don't know, thrown off, or maybe a game here or there gets cheesed. I think this is the server that'll do it.
All right.
Or that will have those kind of players.
It should be exciting, and let's see what heroes, what units are we're going to see in the draft very soon. But before we get into the match, let's take a look into overview and explain about the tournament once again. Here it is, lots of prize on the line. Here we're almost through the qualifiers, and then next week we have the tournament draw. Then 1 week extra break. Then we have the main matches. We have 6 players already. 2 each from Korea, Asia, Global. Now time to find out the final 2. 1 from Japan, 1 from EU. That will be today. And single tournament on the left. We have all the players. And round of 8, we get to see half of round of 8, because instead of round of 16, it is round of 8 this time. And we get to have the finals in the qualifier, since we're only getting 1 player out of the region. And you guys notice some familiar names on the left side?
Oh man, I fought against Marguerite a lot of times. I am very, very excited to see what he's going to bring out for this tournament. I have been cheesed by him. I have seen very strong drafts for him. But more than anything else, I think that with the sort of player that he is, I think we're gonna see. I don't know. I can't stop hyping it up. I think we're gonna see some really weird like wacky picks. So I'm excited.
I sure hope so. The Japan players are the type of people you fight against, and they have like a 300 speed top model Lulica, and you're just like, oh, I didn't expect that. And Marguerite is actually kind of just the #1 Japan player as far as I know. Like, they're always the highest up there. They're playing RTA all day, every day. This guy really grinds. And ReaSan also, I think, is kind of a similar player to Marguerite. Some of the names are translated from Japanese, so I don't recognize them as well, but I think I've probably played against almost everybody here.
Yeah, should have. They grind on RTA very often. And Marguerite, I believe, is currently RTA number 2. So let's see. Of course, events. We still have events. Today will be a greater accessory charm. Yep, accessory charm. You run out of these often, so make sure to get it. Watch it more than 15 minutes. You have your account linked to your Epic 7 account, to your Twitch account, and then 3 leaves also. Well, every single stream, you can get that. Not just in this stream, but in a lot of Epic 7 streams that has the drops open. And that's not the only one. As I've shown you guys the Arcade plush, you can get that through social media. If you go to our store website, it's all the information is there. You can also post there. To get 200 energy, you need that right now to go through all the wyverns. right?
Buff.
Yeah, it's the weekend with the buffs, Arky Plush, Despad, and a lot of goodies to give out through the tournament. And this is easy. Just log in every single day, every single weekend, especially because you do not want to miss any of these. Of course, leaves, golds, they all stack, but later in the final weekend, make sure to log in at least to get some extra goodies. I'm sure you
Yeah, the
guys.
final one's
yeah.
the biggest.
Yes, the 5-star artifact summon and the unknown slate. That's Saturday, Sunday, but we log in every single day, so this doesn't. It matters, but as long as you log in, check your mailbox. It's right there. Just get it. I got mine yesterday. Should be getting one again today very soon. And that is it for the events. I'm sure Kana, Jenna, you guys have not missed any of those logins for sure.
Yeah, I don't ever miss any
Yeah, it's
logins pretty
impossible
much.
to miss because we were playing every single day, hours and hours. And this weekend, buff is still going on, so make sure. And especially if you're watching the tournament, and I do have this hero, but I never really got a chance to use it. And after seeing these players actually use it for the tournament, maybe it's time because it's free to move all your gears around, unequip, right, and just move all your stuff around and see. And then you see your speed, max speed is 240, and then you say, oh.
And you just stop.
and then
Okay.
you get beat up. But that's a start, though.
Marguerite here.
Yeah, let's get
Um,
into the match as we have the first match of round of 8. It is Marguerite.
Well, it seems like he couldn't quite hit 100 wins. So close. Life goes on. Those 3 picks are pretty interesting. A lot of Politis. I wonder exactly how he wants to play. Does he play really aggressively or more defensively with that kind of team? Is that a damage Politis or?
You know, Jenna, based on his post bans, I actually think he might have a very different kind of playstyle because people that ban Hwa-Young and Spectre Tenebria tend to not like the protect the carry style. So, yes, we'll see.
Maybe it's aggressive.
But on the other hand, I think ReaSan here plays maybe not super common or as expected. That
Lionheart's
the
Sturmia
mo-
first pick.
Yeah, I think that's pretty rare. I would say, you know, Mediator Cowrick and the Apocalypse Robbie both fairly, fairly common. But as expected, Hwa-Young, Conqueror Lilius both really popular. Oh, that's actually kind of weird if you think about it, right? He pre-bans Conqueror Lilius the most, but he has.
You see, it
ML
makes a lot of
Sturmia as
sense
his first
actually.
pick.
You pick ML Sturmia in every single match, and at some point they're going to dual attack, and you win.
Got it.
Maybe
got
that's
it. Okay, all right.
that's the equation that he's going for. See a lot of interesting heroes from ReaSan being picked up. Let's see, because
Let's see if the Sturmia pick pays off in this. There's only 3 matches, and all you need is maybe 2 dual attacks among 2 games.
Let's see the pre-bans between the 2 players. Marguerite on left, ReaSan on the right. Just Hwa-Young
Oh,
ban.
this might be the first time we've seen both people pre-ban the same unit in the first match. Neither of them wants to deal with Hwa-Young.
Yeah,
Very
in
different
round
than,
1 it is the
other
first
week.
time, but with just Hwa-Young being banned, it leaves a lot more open now.
Yeah, but
and
what's interesting is also just the fact that like neither wants to deal with Hwa-Young. Even if they're first pick or second pick, nobody wants to deal with that unit. They're both just like take it out. We don't care if Emma Lilius or Ran or is up. Just get rid of that one thing.
the interesting thing too is that even from what we saw yesterday, and I think from a few of the regions, Hwa-Young has actually not been doing very well in this tournament. The Shu and a lot of other units seem to mitigate her a little bit. Even that Apocalypse Robbie, who she was, supposed to kind of counter, didn't do too well, I think, from what we saw, especially yesterday in the global bracket. But Emma Lilius here, I think, is fairly common, and I actually really like ReaSan's kind of setup here. He's got the Conqueror Lilius and the Mediator Cowrick to kind of deal and control the Apocalypse Robbie and the Angel of Light. And to his draft, Marguerite picking the Angel of Light and Apocalypse Robbie, seeming, I'm kind of unsure of how he's going to position in this draft. Angel of Light being his fourth pick or fourth most pick, I guess is common,
ReaSan
but
right here, full protection draft. The last two picks both have to be a big carry DPS. We have like Spectre Tenebria, Landy, all sorts of stuff open, but you know they have to be two big DPS, and he's basically saving it to see Marguerite's entire team so that he can pick two units that take apart the whole team, and Marguerite can only get rid of one.
yeah, and I guess this Marguerite's fourth pick is going to be, I think, really, really important here because he kind of has to make the choice right now about whether he wants to maybe go. Oh, the Alencia. So he's choosing to have the. I guess
There's a lot of
he's
buff
still
strip.
pivoting. Yeah. There's a lot of buff strip, and obviously it's really nice into the two, I guess, like buff providers, or like, you know, like the defense buff that can get stripped off, the attack buff that can get stripped off. But I was kind of curious if he's going to go for the 2 DPS draft or 3 DPS draft.
I
But
would
it looks
see
like he's leaving ambiguous.
Right side could just go Spectre Tenebria, Arcteum Mercedes, I would think. And I feel as
Yeah.
though your team is so protective and just completely enables them so well that you could just completely crush the left side draft. They don't have enough cleanse really to be able to deal with Arcteum Mercedes with all the dual attacks as well. And I just don't really think that they can fight Spectre Tenebria at all. I think that, okay, ReaSan's going for all reliable there.
Oh
with the,
yes, most picked,
the
but
Lionheart Summoner.
his win rate actually with Sermia, it's not that high, 47% win rate. So we'll see.
Well,
Wow,
okay, here's one thing yeah, he picks it a lot too, and he has a 58% win rate. I do think Spectre Tenebria would have been much stronger right here, but at least he can enable her because he has Ross to give the defense buff to her. So even if the opponent doesn't dual attack whatsoever, the Alencia enables her at least. So that's really nice.
Archimate Shadow and Roanna to finish up the draft, waiting for the post bans.
I'm curious if ReaSan's going to go for the, or is going to take the gamble and assume that he could maybe seal the Ruana, or if he's just going to ban it, but he's thinking, no, he just decides to ban it. All good.
So he is going to be getting silenced by the Angel of Light, but the thing is, Lionheart Sirmia doesn't really care unless she's getting silenced right after she procs, and Arcteum Mercedes doesn't really care at all. So it basically comes down to just mostly Ross cares about the unbuffable and silence, but Emma Lilius is going to take the first turn anyways.
Yeah. So it isn't even going to be like an immediate silence here, assuming everything is fairly, I guess, up to par. I think he might actually, Jenna. I'm curious if he's going to provoke the DN here. I think he has to, right? Otherwise, the whole team gets cleansed anyways. But that does mean that he's going to have the rest of his team provoke. Or
Wait, he
rather,
just gave defense
unbuff
buff with the music box to this Sirmia.
Ooh. But, I mean, the Angel of Light should be coming soon, right? No matter what. So, presumably, if everything goes, you know...
Oh, he goes for it, but that is a resist DN, so nothing he could have done right there.
Of course, DN will not be taunted.
Yeah, so I think this is pretty expected. Just
He has to throw everything at him, pretty much.
Yeah.
He has to break through ReaSan's team as fast as possible, and I'm not really sure that he can do that. The right side team has Vigor, they have Aureus, they have 2 incredibly tanky units, and one of the weaknesses of Apocalypse Ravi is that even though she's such a strong character, she's not really that great against really protecting teams. And Arcteum gets that amazing counter right there. She starts ramping up for her S3. Normally when she gets her S3, the match just ends right then and there, even though it gets cleansed and the skill null comes out. Archdemon is still at 2 stacks already.
Yeah, she's a little squishy if you look at it, Jenna. She's actually only at 14,000 HP, which I think is actually fairly low for Archdemons.
Yeah.
But I guess at the moment it might not matter much because, I guess technically it does matter because if Marguerite chooses to focus the Archdemon Shadow here, he doesn't get the shield from, or Archdemon Mercedes will get the shield. So I'm curious what his target selection is going to be.
Sure you can handle this?
I guess he wants to get rid of the dual attacker first, which is pretty important to be fair, but
I think it's kind of surprising that the DN cleanse went out there. He didn't want to save it for the Archdemon in like the next turn or so. Possibly just going to try and cycle around so that after Archdemon S3s he's able to cleanse. The thing is, he needs to take out this Arc Demon as fast as possible. But nobody likes to attack Arc Demon because the moment that she counters, you could just instantly lose the entire match.
Yep.
So
Instead, going for
it-
Sililius.
Ooh, she's not dead
Go
though.
down.
Despair.
he actually lives with 157 health.
HP left.
We also saw the Conqueror Lilius only has 13,000 total health. It's actually a really squishy Conqueror Lilius, and the Arc Demon is also squishy. It seems like the entire team isn't very tanky, even though it looks like it should be.
goddess wills.
I don't know if you guys saw that. Did that magic box go to anyone, or it might have gotten to someone
I
with?
think it may have reapplied to somebody as well.
Left with no
Okay.
So
choice.
overall, Marguerite able to take out that Emo Lilius is really good, but there's still two really big units here. Oh, the silences is really nice for him.
Yeah.
That Arc Demon though is ramping up. She's almost at her S3. It's possible though, Marguerite is in a really good position currently. Able to actually proc that Lionheart Cermia and immediately silence her. If he can keep that up, she's not really going to be able to do that much.
No proc on the Angel of Light though. Even despite getting the seal. This has to be Archdemon Shadow. Archdemon Shadow.
Mercedes.
Yeah. Has to be ML Mercedes too, surely. But I think the
I
silence
feel
on
as though
the-
that was a huge misplay from him, right? To use it on the DN, because there was no possible way it could seal, and so it wasn't able to get the CR push or the extra damage. That seemed like a really odd target. And oh, okay, just a small dual attack.
And the
This
defense
Lionheart
break.
Cermia though.
Yeah, defense break is on Cermia though. So
The defense break actually makes it do less damage, which is a really
Yeah.
big deal.
So could not really use that S3 this time.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if this Cermia is ever going to be able to take a turn again, assuming Marguerite uses his souls to soul burn onto the ML Cermia. But it looks like
Please move aside.
he is actually going to, or ReaSan is definitely going to be able to get off the Archdemon S3 here, which could really turn the tides. I've seen a lot of Archdemon Shadows come back from a 1v4 just after the skill 3, but ooh, this
One
he
lucky
saves
counter
souls.
can end the whole match.
Let's see if left side is too tanky or not enough. Here it comes.
So
Ooh,
this
and the skill
DN
3?
actually has her S2 up, and that didn't really land that many debuffs. I think that Marguerite actually has been controlling this Lionheart Cermia well enough, and has the DNS2 up in time that this Arc Demon really isn't able to do that much. He's not actually pushing that much damage onto Marguerite.
Yeah.
This is a
And,
nice amount of damage, but Apocalypse Ravi is sitting pretty. There's no danger to her at all.
I think he really would have preferred, obviously, if the Archdemon had death broken the Apocalypse Ravi, but I guess the burn will have to do. But it really puts ReaSan here, I think, in a really bad position.
Yep, and
Still
Marguerite.
silenced.
Marguerite's got
and
DN back up with an S2.
He has the Soul Burn as well. He could just immediately take out the Lionheart Cermia or just about the Ross right here if he wants.
Yeah. I think both are fine, but I don't really see a way for the Cermia to ever take a turn again, or really get to. Oh, he goes for the ML Cermia here.
Yeah, the
Instead of
problem
getting
is
a
that
negation.
this Angel of Light had to die way sooner. He had to take this thing
Yeah.
out so that Lionheart Cermia could actually do something, but it just never ended up happening. He gets a
Oh.
really nice duel, but
Proc?
it doesn't actually seal or proc. So a little bit unlucky on that. He gets one extra stack, but I don't think that's enough. I think that Marguerite is basically just controlling the entire match. ReaSan just hasn't been able to push through to take out the Angel of Light, and this Lionheart Cermia has just been a complete waste of space in this match.
Yeah, and everyone here is basically silenced, unbuffable. Fortunately, I guess ReaSan can technically proc the Archdemon or the Adventurer Ra's passive here, but I'm not sure if that's even enough to really justify the position that ReaSan is in now, because this ML Cermia should just be dead here now, if I'm not mistaken. I think that
Not
just,
only
you just
is she dead, but this Ross is going to be dead real soon.
Yep.
Just overall, and this Arc Demon, look how much damage it's taking. The fact that her S2 did that much damage that it actually procced Ross's shield shows how squishy it is. This is one of the squishiest Arc Demons I've ever seen. I feel almost as though ReaSan's going for such a defensive protection team, but just doesn't have the units geared for that.
yeah.
And Marguerite really kicking in hot. Only Archdemon left and brings back Aola.
Now you see, here's the thing. This looks pretty bad, right? But I've lost this. Archdemon could counter every single
Yeah.
attack for the rest of the match, blind everybody,
Always a
strip
chance.
every buff.
Yep.
This character, even when you look like you're about to win like this character can still win the match. They could 15% every debuff, strip every buff, counter every attack, seal your whole team, and you want to quit the game.
I smell living.
Let's see if it
you know-
happens at all.
To add Jenna, reviving Angel of Light, I understand there's value in it, of course, but she doesn't get access to her skill 3 in that way, and can also cleanse with Angel of Light's S2. But that's kind of one of Marguerite's bigger nuke abilities here, right? Now he's kind of just at the mercy of, well,
I think he's probably okay. We saw how squishy it is, right? Yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
This Archdemon is not very tanky. Maybe this Archdemon has like a bit of resistance or maybe some effectiveness of some sort, because it feels as though they just don't have the tank stats of a normal Archdemon. They're just getting hit so hard.
Oh, wait, that's actually...
It doesn't actually spell PS2 though.
Okay. I was gonna say,
that
wait, that would be
should
kinda funny
be
if
it.
it did.
Marguerite does take the first round. Certainly
think-
have a lot of the game in control on the left side.
Yeah, so I think in theory ReaSan's team was really good, but I also think picking Lionheart Sermia was not the right choice, I believe. I know they really like that unit, and I know Alencia was on the other side, but imagine if it was just something like Spectre Tenebria, a character that could just easily take out that Angel of Light much faster. They would have had more control over the match. They can't, even if it gets silenced, it doesn't really matter. I think that Lionheart kind of just didn't really contribute much to the fight at all, not even at a single point. And she just got controlled and didn't do much damage.
I think the thing is too about it is that the ML Sermia here really didn't provide that much damage overall. You have to think about, I think, the ML Sermia in general. She's really good at taking squishy units out, but there was the APOC Robbie and the Alencia, as you mentioned, still, right, Jenna? To kind of kill, and I don't think he had enough damage on the right side. So I guess we'll see what'll happen in this game, though.
All right.
All
I don't think-
pre-ban heroes, Hua Young.
Only Hwa-Young so far, because both players actually banned Hwa-Young. It is a blind ban, so you can have it overlapped. Maybe ReaSan might be thinking about a different strategy. Not Sermia this time, but ML Lilius and Angel of Light being banned in the second round. We're starting the ban pick with ReaSan this time.
So ReaSan didn't seem to want to go against that Angel of Light, and they first picked the ML Coeric. They just really don't want to deal with the debuffs. Something to note is that even when you have ML Coeric, Angel of Light can still be a real pain to fight. She still has her passive that can give skill null and an AoE, and whoever S3s first pretty much loses because the other one counters whatever they did. So
Marguerite with a
something
pretty
to get rid of.
strong, pretty strong foundation, though. I'm curious if either of these players are going. That's what I was curious about. If either of them would kind of pace up a little bit. We saw a little bit of the Politis, the Spectre Tenebrias in the most picked, I think, for some of these characters or for some of these players, but maybe not the Spectre as much. But I was thinking maybe they would play a little higher tempo, a little more aggressive. I wasn't really thinking of them playing more of the Alencia and the Landy, or I mean, even if you just look at both left and right side, we see the Apocalypse Ravi and the supports as their most picked. But I'm curious what kind of DPSs they lean to. I'm not sure not really sure if they're gonna go for Alencia here. Maybe Marguerite would want it, but
I do feel as though ReaSan should go for something like an Alencia, not only giving the defense buff to the team, so maybe you don't even have to pick a knight and you can go more aggressive, but also just it's really strong versus DN, and there's not many characters that can actually strip the buffs other than Angel of Light that people commonly use. But we see the Ruel pick, which means ReaSan's going for a really slow match, and Marguerite's going to take away a unit that's really good versus DN, and she's also pretty good versus ML Coeric as well. As soon as he has 3s, you just take those buffs off and buff your team up. I think that Marguerite's team overall is pretty solid. I think this is a really solid draft for Marguerite so far.
Yeah, Marguerite
Picking
not
both
just
of
Alencia, picking up Shu. That's a lot more damage on the left side now.
Yeah,
I
both
think
of those units were
ReaSan-
buffed.
Oh my, is that?
No way.
Okay, yeah. So the Rwanda makes a little more sense, but this is 4th and 5th pick. Solo Apocalypse Robbie DPS is not super common, I would say. I mean, you can try it, but especially against the Shu and the Alencia, I don't know how well it would work, especially against DN and all the buffs and all the defensive tankiness that Adventure Rouse gives to a team, but I'm thinking maybe a Landy, a Spectre Navy or something like that.
Sure you can handle this?
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
we're gonna
Okay.
see
Again.
I mean, I don't want to speak too soon,
Not
but
bad.
ReaSan's
Oh,
draft
S10A.
is incredibly odd. I think the Ruel pick here is too slow. Ruel just recently you don't really see that much unless you have an unbelievably tanky team, and he doesn't really have much mitigation. It feels like this Ruel just
Yeah.
kind of is completely out of place compared to the rest of the draft. And I know ReaSan loves Lionheart Surmia, but at a certain point you have to think, is it really worthwhile picking here just because I like the unit? I don't think that she's able to do much here. And
Ooh,
the
Rimuru.
Rimuru has only been picked, I think, one time so far in the entire tournament, and he was banned. This has been a
Yep.
pretty rare character, and he's
And-
not taken out. It's his first match.
Oh
Rimuru
my
does
God.
go through the Yen band on the left side and S10A band for ReaSan.
So the problem here is this Lionheart Surmia is going to die in one hit from Rimuru probably, and Shu also completely destroys Lionheart Surmia. So I think he's able to handle it really easily.
Let's see if it happens. Seems like Marguerite still has an upper hand after the draft. Here you go, round number 2.
So Meteor Coward takes a turn. I don't think he's going to be doing much in this early part of the, I guess this early part of the match, but no units have any buffs to reasonably use the Rimuru S3 on, so I'm curious if he might just hold. But Marguerite, I think this is going to be a little bit of a... he
That's a
decides
defense
to
break,
activate
but
the...
it does very little damage.
The unknown.
He just decides to activate it probably so that Alencia is able to just immediately strip the buff and S3, and he's going to have anti-crit and defense buff. He's going to be so tanky that this Lionheart Surmia probably isn't going to be able to do that much damage.
Stop bugging me.
Do you think there's any shot that he would be using this to try and activate? No. Okay, never mind. I was thinking if maybe he wanted to defense break some of the other units on the team.
Yeah,
but
I think it would have been a
Meteor
little too
Coward
risky.
says- Yeah, Meteor Coward
Oh, she
still has
actually
full-
resists
Oh.
though.
The plan for
Well, even
Marguerite
with
does
the-
not work 100%.
The thing is, Rimuru is about to go. This Lionheart Surmia is dead no matter what. There's no way that he can actually stop this. And the anti-crit's actually working. Ruel obviously can revive her, but she is going to revive without the defense buff, so her S3 isn't really going to hit all that hard.
Yeah. Oh, is it actually? Oh, wait. Wow, that looked a lot closer than I thought it would. But
Surmia gone again.
I think maybe. Oh, he commits the revive now. I guess that's fine. I was thinking if maybe he might just.
He has
try
2
and-
revives. He really wants
Yeah.
to hold on to this Lionheart Surmia. If Alencia actually gets a turn after, she may be able to pummel Apocalypse Robbie quite a bit right here as well.
Do you just go for S3 without the buff? He does. ReaSan is just going for this. Never really got to use this before.
Oh, wow. That's not a lot of crits right there. Anti-crit actually working out completely perfectly.
And
he steals
invincible.
And
Oh.
now he's invulnerable.
Oh, that doesn't look too great on the right side.
Yeah,
anymore,
this
guys.
is a little concerning.
5 buffs on everyone.
Oh no, don't do it to him.
Oh, no.
Okay, he's safe. He's safe. That was almost a Shu one-shot pretty much on
Oh
this.
my
because
God. Oh my God.
Oh my. Wait.
Robbie's gone.
She's gone.
How did it do that?
This is so
it
sad.
one-shot her.
Oh my God.
That wasn't
Was it
Proof of
seed?
Valor either. What? Wait a second. I don't know what it is, but ReaSan's units are incredibly squishy. Each one of them just seems to take so much damage from Marguerite.
Yeah, just. I'm speechless. I don't think that was supposed to happen, Jenna, but I guess it did.
Certainly,
Yeah.
even with the defense buff, that was a lot of damage from Shu.
Yeah, she was able to
Yeah.
pierce 70% of defense, so she just naturally is a huge enemy for anyone who scales defense. She just wastes so much of that. She's such a powerful pick into something like this. Even though she counters and enables her, she's still just so tanky and with the anti-crit, and she hits her so hard that you just don't really even care. Marguerite just seems to be in complete control the entire
Yeah, he's
match,
just-
and that Apocalypse Robbie was deleted off the face of the earth by Alencia.
I will protect
There is a heal for ML Surmia here, but there really isn't.
turn now.
She does get to use the S3, but we're gonna have to pray for another hit through
Let's
anti-crit.
see how many crits we have. Ooh, we see some crits. 3
We
crits.
see some too.
Okay, we got
Three.
the
Oh,
Wait.
and-
Sure you can
oh,
handle
doesn't go
this?
into the S2.
oh, but Shu is coming.
you know, the Surmia did a good amount of damage, but the problem is, I think ReaSan's in such a difficult position at this point that I'm not sure it really matters. If the Soulburn comes out here, this could just... Oh, the resistance actually coming through. Probably a 15% most likely.
Yeah.
It does have her health bar, however. If this Shu is able to get that S2 on her into the Ross, I'm pretty sure that it'll just take them out. Actually, Ross doesn't have S2, but...
Mediator has S2, right? I believe, so she will have a little bit of protection here.
Oh, resist.
Oh, but resist the strip
Wow.
onto the Shu.
I don't know what it is, but Emil Korik seems to never land the strip. That S2 seems to just never happen.
I mean, we saw Osakir's yesterday landed. That was pretty good, but
Okay, that's true.
The dual attack.
Let's do this.
Oh, it didn't actually
Oh.
really strip anything. The shield was just broken
Yeah.
naturally.
Ooh, no
She's also
strip again.
resisting.
Lots of
This
resist on this
Reaver.
round.
Oh, wait, that dual
Oh,
attack was
man.
actually really nice. The thing
Man,
is,
this damage
though,
is starting to add up.
the problem is, it may look like Surmia is about to rip another S3, but I don't think she actually has enough bar, does she? She's missing 10
No.
fighting spirit, I believe. That's the problem, is she can do 2 S3s in a row, but the third one, you need an extra attack to be able to build up that little bit of extra. So she's not actually going to be able to heal right here. Oh, no.
Counter.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. Well, it doesn't really matter, though, because Shu is going to take him out regardless.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And she
wait.
still has that S3 up and resets.
Wait,
Only Emma Kowerik
Glutton?
and Ruel left on the right side.
Wait, I think that's Glutton, Jenna, on the Shu. I saw that whole team move. Well, I think.
This won't be an easy.
Yeah, now I think you.
Oh, actually gets the defense.
What? Oh my god! Oh my god! This is so
That's,
Oh
oh, that was painful to watch.
no! Please!
Oh, why?
Oh my goodness!
Frankly, I think Marguerite kind of just bullied ReaSan right here. It felt like ReaSan just had no control over this match or the last one. It felt like Marguerite's drafts
And
were
that's
just,
it.
too
That's
solid.
it. We finished the round right here. Marguerite wins and moves up to the round of 4. 2-0. Big score. ReaSan never really got to use that Surmia into big damage. That was a real problem.
Yeah, that was, it felt like, okay, the first draft, I could see what ReaSan was going for, and if it was much tankier, I think he could have pulled it off. And if he hadn't drafted the Surmia. But the second draft, it felt like he was a little lost on what he wanted to go for. The Ruel pick just didn't really seem all that worthwhile, and I wasn't really quite sure what they were going for. It seemed like they were just mixing up how they wanted to go and fight Marguerite, and Marguerite just drafted a really solid and safe team.
The other thing that I think was, I mean, not to say that the Lionheart and the Ruel definitely kind of played a part in, I think, making the draft a little uneasy and kind of shaky for ReaSan. But I really don't think a lot of the units that were on that team were supposed to die, I think, nearly as quickly. Defense breaking the Ruel, I think, is a little tough, even with what frenzy we got to with the Adventure Raws, but the Apocalypse Robbie, Jenna, if you recall, that dying to, I think it was just one Alencia S1?
Yeah, one hit. It just died
That
from
was-
bolt. It had no
that's
proof
crazy.
of valor, no mitigation of any sort, and the Alencia just dunked on it.
Yep.
Oh, here we
But-
see the next players.
Yeah, and
Phantom.
moving into our second match of round of 8, Phantom here.
Well, it seems as though he's a really aggressive or cleave player. Only didn't really play that many matches in total, with an 80% win rate to make it in here.
Yeah,
Seems to just go for a Rand cleave.
Phantom did
Yeah.
have the highest win rate during the E7WC prelims. 80% win rate. Actually, the highest, second highest was Marguerite with 76.
Yeah, this looks like a, I mean, if you just look at his bans and his picks, this looks fairly reminiscent, I think, of Asia server. Electing to ban the Conqueror Lilius, which I think a lot of Asia server people obviously respect, and everyone in general, I think, respects the Conqueror Lilius ban. But the Bellion ban, I think, for sure is very reminiscent, or very indicative, I should say, of a more aggressive draft.
Oh.
As you can see, Spectre Tenebria, second most picked, right?
Yep, and it says first and first on Bellion and Celius because they were both banned, pre-banned 54 times, so that's tied in first.
Wow. That's actually kind of interesting. We saw it a lot from Asia region as well, where they would pre-ban Belian to pick an early Spectre Tenebria for a possible aggressive draft. So he might go for something like that if he's not going for a Ran Cleave. And Lorna here, they'll demonstrate the Japanese style. We see the same
he's looking kind of intimidating, Jenna. I don't know about you, but he's kind of looking down on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So it seems it's very similar picks as well.
Yeah.
Both of the players seem like they really like going aggro or cleave, and we might be seeing some speed races possibly coming out of them. And Lorna's just towering over us.
Yeah, and I really like his most picks, Jenna. I see the Ren, I see the APOC. I'm excited to see.
Oh man.
I'm excited to see what we'll get here.
Let's see round 1 draft between Phantom and Lorna. Bellion Band and Angel of Light being pre-banned. And instant C Lily is picked up.
Oh, that's...
Lorna might just immediately go into the Ran APOC Robbie.
I think so, I think so.
Oh,
the
and
DN
wait a
actually.
second, this is completely different. Not going for one of his most picked.
I think some people do like the DN and the Apocalypse Robbie in order to flex a little bit more nowadays. I think maybe that's obviously because you don't necessarily have to cleave with DN. You can kind of like slow down a little bit. You have the anti-crit, you have the shielding. But I'm curious what Phantom's response is going to be, because if Lorna decides to pick the DN and the APOC, it's a very ambiguous opening, right? But I think he's gonna go for it.
Hwayang
actually electing for the Hwayang.
Well, so Lorna's draft still can be really translated into an insanely aggressive draft or a slower one, depending on what Phantom goes for. But I'm kind of surprised that Lorna didn't opt for something like the Ran-A Robbie, because it feels like both of these players really like that kind of playstyle, and neither of them decide to immediately go for it.
Ooh,
So
instead,
Phantom
Phantom
does
switches up and takes those 2 heroes away from Lorna.
So maybe they were both kind of just scoping each other out to see what the opponent wanted to go for, but I feel as though Lorna's picks are a little bit weak now, because the DN and the Hwayang aren't really going to be doing all that much against this cleave draft. The Designer Lobit is obviously a good pick. Possibly we'll see something like Sage Bale and stuff as well, but Lorna's definitely on the back foot. They're not going for the Sid Silk that we saw a lot of the times when you would try to anti-cleave a Ran pick.
I'm thinking there might... Oh, he actually goes for the Rimuru pick here.
Oh, it is a Japanese server, so we're seeing a lot more Rimuru.
I guess they're a big fan of the anime?
Yeah,
Might be.
I guess so, but I think Lorna might be trying to pick the Rimuru to kind of de-incentivize the Ran from pressing S2, or maybe if it's speed tuned in such a way where Conqueror Lilius actually gets S3 off and then Ran gets S2, it doesn't, you kind of get punished a little bit for that, but I'm not sure if that's actually good enough of an anti-cleave unit into this left side. That being said, I'm not entirely sure. Oh, the Caesarea actually picked into the...
Yep, the Ida last pick makes
the Ida as well.
Ooh, pretty fast comp on the left.
I feel as though Lorna's in some trouble here if he doesn't have a really good pick. It just seems like Phantom's team is really solid. It's just kind of a pretty standard cleave that we've been seeing a lot recently.
Lorna, 5th pick to respond against the cleave. I was thinking about Politis is 5th most pick from this guy.
Now, I wonder how that Politis is built. Since he seems to mostly play cleave and aggressive, I would expect that Politis to be more DPS oriented unless he has 2 of them. The Ran gets taken out, but this Mo Lilius is able to immediately go into the Ida, which then procs the Caesarea, and as long as he can take care of this designer a little bit, he's going to be able to just completely clean out his team.
Does it, Jenna? Because I'm not actually sure. There is the Politis kind of...
That's
I guess
true.
not. Yeah, there's a chance he doesn't want to press the skill 3,
I'll
and
take your life.
It's a little bit of a...
Yeah, we'll find that out real soon.
Yeah, so I guess he can choose to hold.
Are kind of close.
Yeah.
Since he has no buffs, he can go for an S1 without Rimuru responding at all. So it is possible. Yep.
On my way.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Oh, that's right too.
Wait a second. The problem is, what does he do now? Like, he doesn't want to put on too many debuffs, otherwise she'll just be able to cleanse and push.
It's
So opposite of this, the Ida's actually going to be able to do so much damage to this designer Lilibet.
And here we go.
And very smartly choosing not to add any other default. But,
Ooh, okay, that was really good. Wait a
That
second,
designer
she-
Lilibet. Oh, she's about to die.
Sure.
Yeah,
I think she's dead.
and that's two
is too
bombs on
much.
Hua Young. There's just too
Oh
much
my
damage coming
God.
out from Phantom.
Oh, this round should be
And
over
yeah, that-
real soon.
And that was a really squishy Politis immediately dies.
Oh god. This is too much damage, and that's GG, guys. Round one's over.
I
Phantom
think
takes it.
that, I think Phantom knew what he was doing, and he was just going, I'm going to leave, and Lorna just wasn't ready. I think Lorna may have felt intimidated or something, but they needed to pick that Ran APOC Ravi, but for some reason they felt to go for the DN and stuff, which just didn't seem like it was the right picks in that situation.
Yeah, maybe that was the
Yeah.
wrong choice in the first ban. Something that Lorna might be considering to change in the second draft.
Yeah, the 97% offense contribution by that Ida. She kind of just completely took apart the team. That defense break was obviously really big, but he had to ban the Ran because his Politis was not tanky, because it would just instantly get one-shot by a damaged Ran. So his team would have just been completely demolished. So it felt like Lorna was just completely backed into a corner and didn't have much they could do at that point.
I really hope we don't see the DN and Hua Young. I do kind of feel like Ran plus Hua Young instead of the APOC or something else does kind of leave you very vulnerable to cleave too, right? Like as we just saw, there wasn't really much. The DN and Hua Young pretty much just keeled over and died, basically, the second that the Cisteria took a turn. But here we see the APOC.
I
This
think
time from Lorna.
I think Lorna knows this time they're like, I'm going for it.
Yep. Oh.
Okay, so Phantom takes
Ren.
that. Now, a lot of the time we'd see people go for the Sid Silk here in response, but we didn't see it last time. I wonder if Lorna has something like that. Wow, okay, decides to opt for another anti-cleave draft. Oh, wait.
Even
Payra
Payra
for
they
a
picked up for
defense.
Lorna.
Ooh, okay.
Now this draft's a lot more
actually-
interesting.
I do actually really like this. I think that Ran and Hua, though they do fairly well into the Dilibit, although the Hua Young does do fairly well into the Dilibit, I do think that de-incentivizing the Ran from pressing skill 3 is really big, just in general for their kit. But it looks like Phantom's pretty prepared to deal with the Payra and all the other tanks on the enemy team.
I think this might be the right choice from Lorna, because as soon as you pick Payra and they go DJ Vasar, you can't just play slow anymore. Phantom forced him to have to go aggressive, and Lorna says, okay, like I can't, otherwise I have to ban it, and I'm just gonna lose.
Ooh.
Oh,
So,
this
at first it
drafting is a
seemed
lot
like-
more interesting. Yes, Jenna?
Yeah, we first thought that Phantom was cleaving, but it looks like Lorna's the cleaver now, and
Yeah.
Phantom had to go for anti-cleave. They both sort of have half of each other's draft.
Oh,
in
let's
this
see what the
situation.
post bans are. We have one selected on the right.
I kind of think in threat of having Apocalypse Ravi ban, I think you have to ban Rem, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that
there
was
wasn't much
I think you had
choice.
to do that.
Now, the thing is, this is going to be an interesting one. It's possible Ha Young can just take this Apocalypse Ravi out, too. Unless he's able to actually disable it. The Ran taking the first turn is also big, because it means that this Payra is not able to actually debuff them, unless that reduces the duration of Hua Young and Alencia. Wait, he got an RNL. Oh, wow, yeah. Wait a second.
If this kills the Politis, and it does!
that's
Oh my
Okay.
god.
insane amount of damage. Lorna again in trouble.
He misses the crit. He missed 2 crits on Apocalypse Ravi in a row.
I think that
Wait
might
a
have been a
second.
little greedy, Jenna, because
Yeah,
now
this
he's
Apocalypse Ravi,
guaranteed to revive the Politis.
he's able to attack buff the Apocalypse Ravi as well. It's 100% going to kill somebody.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't kill Basar, I would expect.
Oh,
wait.
wait.
Ooh.
Is that a bad
That was
cut?
actually a mistake going for the S2 first, because the DJ Basar got a push due to the, is it a Turnus?
Was it? Yeah, I didn't see if it was Eternus or maybe.
Oh,
but it
Apocalypse
doesn't
Ravi
matter.
actually taking the turn just due to the extra CR push that she took from the Ran. But she is able to finish him off before this Payra gets killed instantly, and the Politis takes the turn.
Dead, but
Also, having a soul
Politis-
burn, this Hua Young's about to take a beating.
Yeah, good turnaround by Lorna.
Oh, he's-
opts to not go for the Hua Young. Interesting.
You are unwelcome.
The Hwayoung really doesn't have that much
My
gas against, I guess, an Aureus protected team. But I think
does
the
the
Valencia's
Alencia-
still gonna strip anyway, too, right?
lowly creature.
Should.
Hmm.
Let's see if she actually does.
And does actually strip the buffs. Only the
Yeah,
attack
well
buff
done.
left. This Hua Young doesn't really have much of a choice other than to S3 the Apocalypse Ravi, and she's already kind of hurt with no mitigation.
This is kind of a race against time, though, I think, for both sides. I think, although
Will it be enough
Lorna
damage?
does have... This
No, not quite.
so close.
Oh, but Ranting
but
third. If
it's a
he
kill?
misses a third, surely he won't miss a third crit.
and it's
Okay.
dead!
There's the
He
crit.
lands the, okay, the third one, he lands the crit.
Wait, this is huge, Jenna. I think
I
Phantom
don't
might
think there's
actually
enough
win this
damage
now.
to go through it Hua Young.
Oh,
but it's-
stun.
Meet me in a million
I really think that Lorna didn't have a choice but to attempt to stun the Hua Young and go all in on them with the Politis, but when they also
but she's
surprised
also
the
not
Alencia.
dead. Oh my
Oh,
god!
no.
Reckon
Ran also doesn't go down.
dead.
No!
Oh,
All the damage
God.
is split from everybody, but nobody dies.
Oh, that is
no.
another
Phantom with the
GG.
tankiest ran on the server.
Phantom
Oh
with a
my
2-0
goodness.
score. What a quick match so far. Lorna
That
cannot
is
really
what we in the
deal with
business
it.
That
call
was
a gear diff.
disastrous, Jenna. That was that was really such a close match too.
I think Lorna may have misplayed there. I think that he almost had it, but I think if he played a little bit differently, he may have been able to take the win.
Yeah, I think taking out the Hua Young, I think, because you saw how close it was too, right? I think if the Hua Young had died a little bit earlier, I'm not really sure if Alencia has quite the same 1v or 2v3, I guess, position that or power that the Hua Young had. And I mean, ultimately, you saw how close it was and how unfortunate it was too, because the Alencia didn't even die. And it really was unfortunate too that, you know, the APOC did die as where she did. I mean, but that's set too, guys.
Yeah.
And now I guess we're in the
Yeah, that was
finals.
quite not yet. We have the semifinals basically, and I believe we have all the results from the round of 8 we just had, and we had two off the broadcast going on at the same time. Let's see the result. I believe we have it ready.
Oh,
And
Any minute now?
okay.
Oh, there we go. We had some 2-1. We had a 2-1 there. Yeah, Sanadakun will make it up to go against Marguerite on round of 4 on the top, and Phantom versus Phrone on the bottom. This player that you guys were mentioning before the broadcast, Phrone is another great player from Japan.
Yeah, I played against him. I think he plays fairly standard, or like a little like maybe standard aggro, but definitely no slouch. I think the last time I played against him, I think even right now in like the beginning of early season, he was spamming a lot of games from what I could tell. So I'm kind of excited to see what he's going to do against Phantom. But now we've kind of seen Phantom's true colors as a cleaver, or I mean maybe a half cleaver, whatever you want to call it. But not afraid to use ReaSan for sure. So I'm curious if Phrone has an answer to that, or if
Phrone also, for their pick and ban strategy, seems to have written an entire essay about their whole strategy of using Lilius and Diane and Apocalypse Ravi, and their pick choices for second and fourth pick, and they seem to be really prepared. They have a whole strategy aligned just for how they want to play the matches, it seems.
All right, before we get into these two matches, we'll take a short break because, and once we get through the break, we'll actually go all the way into the final straight. So let's take a short break, and when we come back, we will have those two matches. So see you guys soon. back, guys, to the Japan qualifier. We're in round 4, the semifinals. We'll have 2 matches. The first match will be between Marguerite and sanadakuon.
Hey, I don't know about you guys, but sanadakuon looked a little intimidating there on the right side. Marguerite here, honestly, I would say Marguerite's kind of the favorite of a lot of people just because most people know him as the strongest Japanese player that they've seen. He's always pretty high up in Legend throughout the season, and I think he's ended Legend in every single season so far.
And currently second place in RTA, so you can tell this guy plays a lot.
Yeah,
And
he's definitely a grinder. But his opponent sanadakuon is no slouch either. It looks from his playstyle, he kind of it looks like he kind of plays more like a lot of the global players that we saw yesterday, right? With the Conqueror Lilius and the Angel of Light ban. That being said, I don't think many global players yesterday actually picked the Politis, Landy, and Peyra. So I'm kind of curious what he's looking to do with these picks. Maybe Cleave, but he says, I will play as usual. So, I mean, surely he's confident in his play.
I guess he doesn't have any special tricks or tech unless he's just trying to fool us, but seems to really favor the Landy and Peyra, which is interesting.
yeah, most pick Politis 312 times, Landy 236, and Peyra 205. That's a lot of picks on those 3 heroes.
Huh.
Out of all the others.
Well, here we go.
Oh, here we go.
guys.
Round 1 between the 2 players. Let's see
I
the
believe
prevent.
Sanada has the first pick. We'll have to see in just 1 second to make sure, but
First pick does go to a random player. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, Hwayoung Band and Aola.
so it takes out the
okay.
Angel of Light. I would expect something like an Emerald Lilius pick here from Sanada-kun.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's,
Indeed.
I think that's fairly standard, right, as first pick. And in response to the Mediator Cowrick and Pocket Robbie, I think he's kind of, you know, a fairly flexible draft or a fairly flexible opening from Marguerite, but we already see the Landy on 2.
Second pick Landy? Is that common? No, right?
No, but I'm expecting that this is definitely got to be a fast damage Landy to do a lot of damage and push the team up. I don't see why else you would pick it in this situation, but taking the Souls away with Belian is definitely pretty big for this Politis. The way he's playing has to be aggressive, so
Oh, the counter. SSB?
I don't think he could do that.
Yeah, I don't think SSB has nearly enough, I mean,
There's not
damage, tankiness, or
There's not enough protection for his team, and if Emo Quirk is left up, it also will just attack counter.
Ooh.
Okay, wait. I actually kind of like it, but the problem is this Belian, which means you can't ban whatever Marguerite picks last. If Marguerite picks something really big here last, such as, I don't know, maybe an Assassin Sid to take somebody out, or just something to counter Sanadakuon's team,
Yeah.
I don't think that he can. He
I
can't
think
ban it. He
Assassin
has to
Sid
ban.
really would put him in a bind, but it's
Arbiter Mildred. Wow.
So, the fact that he picked Arbiter Vildred, does that mean he has to ban something like Politis or Ida here? Because technically he can be double killed, so he won't be able to do anything against them.
I think
Alright.
certainly this has to be the degenerative RB, right? Like the tankier Moonlight Dreamblade. I don't think he would have picked a full damage Arbiter into his team.
That
So
would make sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Billion ban and Arya being banned on the right. Let's see. Starting with, of course, Lilius and Landy only 3% behind.
Wait, I think that is actually a damage Arbiter Vildred, Jenna.
Yeah, wait, and also, is Sanada the one who has that 290 speed Landy with a bunch of damage? That's a really fast
maybe.
Landy compared to this Conqueror Lilius.
but-
I'm kind of surprised.
This is a little weird though, because Marguerite actually leaving in the Politis means
Are
that
you sure?
Sanada-kun just has 40 souls. Ida Politis has Landy with vigor attack. This is going to be a lot of damage.
Pushing
Okay.
Arbiter Vildred back as well,
can.
and pushing his team up, this Politis is going to make it so that Arbiter Vildred, even after he dies, is not able to take the next turn.
Yeah.
He might just straight up cleave him.
Oh, the stuns are
but
pretty good.
He's not dead. He's not dead though. He's not dead.
He's not dead, however, this Landy is able to push up the team and finish the Arbiter Vildred, while Politis will be able to hit the Arbiter Vildred after, but it feels like he doesn't have enough damage to break through Marguerite here.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing about what's about to happen too is that the Apocalypse Robbie right now has basically no real, or there's really no way for the Apocalypse Robbie to not throw her S3 off. The Meteor Tower going to use his cleanse and the attack buff on S3, so at least one unit is coming back, right? The Politics surely has to be dead here, but
just
nothing's
like
actually dead.
he just missed a little bit of damage. It's like if he had more damage, he would have been able to take him out really cleanly, but he just didn't have enough.
And
And
here we
now he's
go.
dead.
RV full powered S3.
Wait, this is a 15,000 health Arbiter Mildred.
Wow, that's
But it's
that's just game.
That is
He's
it.
gone.
Well,
I'll deal with this.
In theory, I liked how his team was set up, but it just felt like he didn't have enough. The Landy didn't actually do that much damage either, really. It could have been replaced with a much harder hitting character.
That's it. Quickly done. Round number 1 does go to Marguerite. Sanadakuon has nice setup, but had to ban Bellion.
yeah.
If he had some sort of, I think something like Closer Charles would have been 100 times better than that Landy. If he was able to get an attack buff as well, I think he easily could have just cleaned him up. But I think the Landy just wasn't able to really help him that much. I think if you have that kind of gear to put it on Landy, you may as well just put it on Closer Charles.
But the thing is, Sanada-kun never played Closer Charles.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't own him, right?
Maybe he doesn't
Or-
really have the setup for him yet.
Yeah, and
Not sure.
RB
He might
really
just like
kind of was that
landing.
MVP too, right? Because as you guys see on the spinning, it was 16,000 damage. It took a lot of beating, and it didn't die as soon as I think what it took almost like 3 AoEs from Sanada-kun's team for it to actually die, and it still got to use the skill 3. I mean, dang, forget it. I mean, that's high value for me, but.
There's some really fast rounds coming out.
Yeah, that was
really fast.
Yeah, that was real fast.
Yeah.
Game 1 already into round number 2. Let's see the pre-bans for round number 2. Hwayong, Aola, of course, that's the ban from round 1. And Celius Alencia ban.
Alencia being taken out. Interesting. Does that mean Sanada wants to go for something
I'll
like
take your
DN?
life.
Starting
Since
with
he
A-Robbie.
He seems to be scared of losing his buffs. He bans Angel of Light into banning Alencia.
If I must fight.
But we didn't really see him pick many in the previous match.
I think Sanada-kun's gonna go more aggressive here. The Meteor Karak and Adventure Raz already kind of indicating that Marguerite is trying to play slower. But if you look at Sanada-kun's most picked, you see a lot of the cleave options here on the right side. Palit is still available, Para is still available. He already has the Apocalypse Robbie, so Para also kind of does well into Adventure Raz, though maybe not so much the Meteor Karak. So I'm curious if he chooses to go faster.
I think Sanada has to go kind of aggressive here. I think Marguerite, in all the matches he's going slow, he just easily wins. I think if Sanada doesn't go aggressive
Let's
here,
advance together.
he's just not going to have enough. Apocalypse Robbie usually doesn't do that well into kind of a really protection team, and Marguerite seems to really like playing that playstyle.
Landy picked up
and he-
again.
Okay, so
It's
he is
back
going
out.
really aggressive. He took out the Alencia and the Angel of Light, so overall there's not much that can really
Shall I test your
debuff
theory?
him and take all this buffs off. The carrot
Archdemon
pick
and
though.
Carrot from Marguerite.
So that's a real free-to-play character right there to deal with Landy.
So the thing is though about Marguerite, as someone that has tried to cleave Marguerite, for whatever reason, it doesn't really feel like he uses a lot of the typical anti-cleave units. He does actually really prefer just picking the traditional tanks, like standard tanks that aren't really anti-cleave like the Adventure Raz. And then he, for whatever reason, chooses to focus on this Archdemon Shadow as the kind of like answer to this more aggressive cleave draft. But we'll see if that's enough, because Landy does fairly well, I'd like to say, into this left side team. But maybe, yeah, the Solitaire I think had it
both
out,
these
right?
bands are pretty natural, but I wonder if this Arya actually has enough resist. Like maybe the Koeric even has some effectiveness on them. We know the Landy's fast. It might even be faster than the DN.
Let's
I wonder.
see who gets the starting
I will
turn.
guide you through
It
the
is
light.
DN. And then Landy to
Okay.
follow with 5% off.
Ooh. perfectly tuned too, so that he gets the attack buff. But
Wait a second. I think the Landy's not insanely fast. It's just the Emolilius wasn't that fast in the previous round.
But Jenna, I'm curious if I don't know if is this intentional for Sanadakuon's Arya to be so slow? Because
Wait,
now it
no
looks like-
guiding light, griefing light.
and the Arya isn't going to be able to
Oh
use
boy.
her.
Ooh, Carrot.
Oh,
I think this Landy's just dead.
Carrot's here.
yeah, I think she's dead actually.
Unless he gets really lucky. Oh my.
That's a lot of burns.
God.
Just the initial hit doing half her health bar.
Oh my! She didn't even die to a
She's gonna
burn.
explode.
She just died to the S2.
My goddess.
Oh my. Okay. So Dian's able to do this, and Arya's able to set up, but is he really going to be able to do much here?
Well, you guys were saying that Landy might not be the best choice, and again, it's hurting Sanadakuon a lot.
I think he really likes picking that Landy in his playstyle, but not really so sure that he should be going for it when there might be better options for his aggressive play. Oh, this is a lifesteal Arya.
Oh,
Ends
it's
here.
that was counter Apocalypse Robbie too, right? I think there's actually a chance here for Sanadakuon because this Archdemon Shadow and this whole team still has to hit into the. I mean, this looks like a really protected right side, right? There's
It does resist as well.
And this is about to strip and push back the whole team, right?
This is going to do a lot of damage to Ross just by hitting everyone and him soaking up the Aureus damage. If he's able to just keep burning him down like this, he might actually be able to kill that Ross with the Apocalypse Robbie and revive the Landy.
Ooh, and if you recall,
Doesn't
too,
have
Jenna,
effectiveness.
Together.
It's not
this was a
enough.
slow Arya too, so I think this is probably lifesteal as well, right? So
It is
this is kind of a
lifesteal, yeah.
pseudo DPS.
I don't think he can kill it.
Let's do this.
He's just going to keep hitting into it and has enough resistance, it seems, that it might just be able to almost solo his team for a while.
I think Landy's coming back here on this next turn from the Archdemon Shadow, or from the Apocalypse Robbie.
Ross going down very soon.
He might even consider not reviving yet, just so that they have to keep hitting the Arya, though. She's almost up to another one of her S2 activations.
But the thing is, if she revives, right, I think Landy might have enough, or could go back to the Guiding Light, depending on how it is. But I guess technically you might still
Let's not
wanna
trust
wait,
that.
but-
Oh,
Yeah.
he does have the Soul Burn this time.
Oh, but again,
Counter
But he's
again.
not able to use the S2 because of that. He has enough souls to Soul Burn, but he can't do that. He's gonna be stuck with this debuff on him, and he's just unable to actually activate. Ooh, actually kills the Ross there. Not sure if that was intentional or not, but I would have to expect that it would be.
Let's see if it matters in the future, because A-Robbie still has a lot of buff on her.
This Carrot actually now
She
has
does
her
have her S3
S3.
back up.
There's not enough souls, but
Oh,
wait.
and the duel.
Okay,
Oh, resist.
it's not really a high damage Archdemon Mercedes or anything like that, so the dual attack
Yeah.
hurts, but it's not really going to make too big of a difference. Obviously, it doesn't have high effectiveness either, so it can't land that seal. Oh wait, it's just going for it.
Going
Who's
for
it
it
going
with all
for?
the buff.
Up to the Archdemon? That's
I
really
think that
Was not
bold, I
enough
think.
damage to
I'm not-
bring her
I
down.
think optimistic is a little,
yeah.
a little kind of a word to say that. I think he had to wait one turn, just one turn of patience.
Oh, and
Maybe that,
it looks-
yeah, A-Ross going down was not really intended then.
Yeah, I think he really. I think he kind of had to revive the Landy, right? And I mean,
Well,
even
he might
in this
actually
position-
be okay. He's able to cleanse most of the. Well, actually, he takes no debuffs.
nothing.
He can
Actually,
cleanse the one debuff. What the? What is this Apocalypse Robbie? Not even being
yeah,
affected
S2
by
back up
one?
too.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, he's just dodging every debuff. This Archdemon
Yep.
is actually completely useless right here.
Yeah, I guess so. I wonder what kind of Archdemon
Arya's
we were
able to
looking at.
activate here too. I think that this Archdemon probably is just dead.
Yeah, Landy was an easy pick, but Sanadakuon certainly keeping it strong with the other three.
Yeah, and if you recall, she did just Soulburn, so she is. I think she might be on track. I think to get next turn skill 3.
Wow,
Or it might already be back up.
Sonata actually gets the duel too. Sonata
another one.
completely cleans up Marguerite. The Arya completely soloed his whole team pretty much.
Wow.
That was actually really interesting, even though it was so slow. So normally what you want to do with Arya is you want to take early turns and then you go into the Arya before your opponent can respond. But what happened is his opponent responded and then Arya went, but Arya was just able to take out his whole team. He had nothing to actually be able to deal with her.
Yeah, MVP Arya, one of the first games I believe in the tournament that we actually got to see Arya acting, really having an MVP moment.
Yeah, and I think the slow speed tuning of the Arya actually really helped him too, because Marguerite was forced to spend so many turns hitting that Arya and, you know, unable to strip anything else, wasn't landing anything, it was a bastion of hope, Arya as well. So, wow, you know, hats off to Sanadakuon. He really knew his game plan, or he knew his win con, and he
was willing to
well,
sacrifice a unit. And Landy was supposed to go invisible, but it didn't matter. Yeah, I guess he just baited his opponent in this match.
Sanadakuon with that win. Now we have a series, guys. We are going to round number 3. Very likely, Margaret will be grabbing the first pick.
I don't think we've seen a single person take the second pick when they had a choice.
Yeah, I don't think it ever happened. We will very likely notice if it happens.
I think we noticed in some of the previous days, especially the Asia and global games, that sometimes it just didn't matter if you had first pick. What really mattered is that you outsped your opponent.
Wow, Jenna.
Well, no, it's true. It's true. Sometimes you would get first pick, which is advantageous, but if the opponent just was faster than you, you just lost anyways. It didn't matter most of the time.
Here comes Landy ban and Lion ban.
Wow, he actually wants to take away the comfort pit. To be honest, I almost feel like taking away that Landy just made Sonata even stronger.
I actually, now he can't play the Landy.
I think Sonata's chains have been broken.
Yeah,
I think he's unleashed.
The Rand is still available, though I don't think it would be very good this early into the apocalypse. But if he doesn't take away, the Rand, I'm curious if Marguerite will pivot into the Rand Epoch draft, but maybe not. Payra is still available in one of Sanadakuon's most picked units here, but the A-Raws potentially
he's opting for a slower playstyle maybe into Marguerite.
Meteor Cowra? Yeah.
Wow, he takes Marguerite's initial picks from the last match. Marguerite not opting for just a Ran cleave, it seems. Ran's not even banned in this match. Neither of them seems to really value it that much.
Yep, Sanadakuon, I believe, 7th most pick was Ran. Actually having a pretty good win rate, but doesn't really want to go for the race.
Well, we have some good anti-cleave options banned currently too. So it just kind of feels like maybe they could go for it. Marguerite taking the Shu. We've seen Shu do a lot of work in this tournament so far. Just all of the days. It seems like
certainly yes.
Every day that passes, I feel like we see more Shu, more Alencia, more players start valuing them even more. And we're probably going to be seeing them on the ladder every day too.
Yeah, and specifically in this draft too, you see the value of the Shu here this early, especially because there's no Landy, there's no Alencia. Spectre Geneva is still available, but I'm curious about what Sanadakuon's 4th pick is, because I think this will determine whether or not he goes a little more aggressive and has a Soul Weaver or an attack buffer, or maybe if he chooses his 4th DPS here.
We live in a world where Spectre Geneva could S3 and get countered by Shu into an S2 and die.
Oh.
Yeah.
Could certainly happen.
Looking for a green unit that he can pick. The thing is, Alencia being banned is a...
Oh, wow. Okay. Violet.
Alencia being banned is kind of a huge deal because Marguerite's team, you want to strip those buffs and deal with the Shu, and there's no Alencia or Angel of Light for Sanadakuon.
Yeah, so the Solitaria, I think, is a pretty good answer here. Does fairly well with the Remnant Violet.
I just think the Remnant Violet was picked too early.
Yeah, I think maybe just picking another Knight or a Soldier here, Jenna, I think would have been better. He didn't have to show off his second DPS or even necessarily what he wanted to do. But now it feels like
I feel almost like picking Remnant Violet there. You could have just picked something like Archdemon, because he's also countered by Archdemon as well, and Solitaria. That it's almost just taking away an extra weakness from a unit, but
Solitaria FCC picked up to finish from Marguerite.
So both going for very bulky twos.
Sanadakuon played Rylip twice, only twice. Does have 100% win rate, but let's see if it works this time.
I'm assuming it's a lifesteal Remnant Violet.
Yeah, okay. I think this is definitely more of a protect the carry kind of composition that we see here from the right, which makes sense, right?
I don't like it because he's not actually forced to hit this Remnant Violet ever. If he bans the Spectre Tenebria, is this Rylip able to actually break through this entire team? A FCC and DN, anti-crits and shields, and a heal on both of the DPS. They both have just healing built into their skill set.
And
I feel as though Marguerite can just one by one take everything out. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's exactly what Sanadakuon said in his profile. Defense deck with one attacker, or I tend to lose against high durability decks with sustain. That's exactly what he's up against right now.
Ooh, but the Remnant Violet isn't even the protected unit, Jenna. So he's really banking on the evasion here from Remnant Violet to do the work. But
I think that's actually a good idea that he put Amelie on the back, because I think that was probably the first person that Marguerite would be going for. This is an 8,600 health Remnant Violet. If someone breathes on him,
all in attack Rylip.
If Shu so much brushes past him, he might just fall over.
Can he pull this off? Wow, Sanadakuon risking a lot with the Rylip pick.
I think Shu S2 with full bar, even if she misses, might do like 80% of his health bar.
That's a 25,000 HP Shu as well, Jenna. But kind of interesting. I guess he really does want the counter, but I was saying, you know, overlapping the buffs, the anti-crit, but hopefully the Shu doesn't start popping off, because no, I spoke too soon. It's the one.
Yeah, shut your mouth. Don't let this happen. Yeah, the problem is Ross is gonna die really fast, and Sonata's not gonna get really any progress done by the time Ross is dead. Because just Remnant Violet alone, unless you're against something like Belian, where they have to keep hitting him, they're just gonna focus down every other member of the team and save Rylip for last. And
oh my god, and is anyone ever gonna
It never strips buffs. It always 15%.
I do actually think that there might have been a chance here, Jenna, if the Remnant Violet was able to S3 on a, you know, like a no anti-crit and like no shield Shu here, but I guess we're just gonna have to wait another turn, because I think otherwise the Remnant Violet might have gotten drawn up to skill 3.
Man, that did a lot of damage, but Ice Crystals actually healed for 5,000 there, which was kind of huge.
Yeah, I think Sanadakuon, for where he could be right now, is actually not as I guess like is not as bad off as he could be. I think he might use the skill 3 here on either the mitigation or the. I think he could use it on the Shu, or maybe he's trying to use it on
but now
he's
for a Robbie.
Swapping targets in the middle. I think he actually wants Remnant Violet to get countered by Shu, so that he can activate his S3 at some point, I feel.
And A-Ross being targeted down. Only half HP left now.
Yeah, I don't think there's really much that he can do to save. It did hit the defense break, and he hit the crit, but that cleanse made it so it just didn't really do that much. Ross is just getting burned down way too fast. He's Solver in the S2, but I wonder, is he even going to get another turn to use it?
Here's S3 from FCC.
Wait, actually, it's bad he hit Remnant Violet there, because it didn't activate the S3.
He
wanted to proc it right there to hit a skill null, but he's actually able to break a couple of these skill nulls before Remnant Violet's able to S3.
I think, for sure he's... Is he gonna switch targets again? Is he trying to hit the Fallen Cecilia now?
Sharing the if he hits DN here, then... Okay.
Your life.
Okay, maybe he's just trying to remove the skill nullifiers, but...
I believe this is
A-Ross going very low now. Only 1/3 left.
Yeah, Ross might die. If Shu just decides to S2, I think he's gonna go down. Oh, wait. Oh no.
Oh god. And again with the
Well, it's gone. There's a skill null in Shu, so he can't really go for her. He can only go for the Apocalypse Rod, but this isn't really gonna do that much.
Now is when he's going for it.
I mean, it'll hit hard, but it doesn't really
14K.
matter. All that progress is just going to be lost from the shields, the DN heals, the Apocalypse Robbie healing.
Together.
Oh, even the
Yeah,
provoke.
and has 3 backup as well, so a bit of the mitigate.
One thing that's important is as you get into Frenzy, shields become really bad. So the shield is eventually going to be completely useless. The issue is this Ren Violet just used his S3 and he has how many turn cooldown? Like 5? So he has to rely purely on getting hit and activating it to be able to actually finish somebody off at this point.
Yeah, now you see the Amelia being targeted here. Remnant Violet really needs to start putting out the damage, but as you said earlier, Jenna, there's no requirement to there's no reason necessarily for Marguerite to even hit this Remnant Violet, right?
Unless Shu counters.
Yeah. Oh, actually, you know, that's kind of... Oh, and as you say it, Jenna!
Oh,
wait, those are the skill
oh, skill
Oh,
no!
no.
This can't be happening.
No. He had to break it. You have to break all those skill nulls. There were only 2 of them broken, and oh god.
Oh my god.
It may have been a miss, but Shu gets the extra turn. It goes into the S3 since Violet's already activated. May as well. Oh my god, he took 8,000 damage and dies in one hit.
Oh, Sanadakuon.
Oh.
Violet was risky. We knew it when we saw the draft.
I feel as though Sanadakuon should have gone really aggressive in this game again. I don't think he needed the Landy to play aggressive. I think that was just his comfort, though.
And that's GG. Margaret will be moving into the qualifier final.
Wow.
Wow. 2-1 score.
The Remnant Violet, you have to pick it into something where they have to attack him, or you need another DPS as well. You can't just have him be the solo if all they have is single DPS.
Yeah, certainly on the left side, Marguerite really had a tanky draft. Sanadakuon really couldn't break into anyone.
Yeah, I think that Marguerite, he just played his matches overall pretty well. He definitely did a lot of tank up style, and it won almost every single time.
Hey, Shu is really becoming like a real good hero. I'm like, the moment I go home, I'm going to build her.
Oh no, not you too, G-Clan.
It doesn't matter. I'm only around 1800, so I'm never going to face you guys.
I've been noticing a lot of copycats on the ladder recently of some of the drafts that we've been seeing, and Shu's becoming a lot more popular, especially with Hua Young existing.
Yeah. I mean, for what it's worth, Hua Young has been a problem, I think, for a lot of people for a long time. So it does kind of make sense why, Shu has become so much more popular. I think for the longest time, our only answer to Hua Young was SSB and Rem, but now we have a great answer like Shu, right? But here we go, this is Phantom, right?
All right, another exciting match. Second match of round of 4. The winner does go up and gets to fight against Marguerite, who just won against Sanadakuon. Here's Phantom. Very strong.
Crazy.
Highest win rate in the server.
So few games. Only what is that? 85 games about. So.
Yeah, compared to a few players who played more than like 300 games.
Yeah, it's like it took Phantom like a few days. He just played a few days of RTA and was like, okay, wrap it up.
Yep.
And it's Phrone and Phrone.
Yeah. I think, again, Phrone also no slouch, but as you can see here, plays a little differently than I would say the rest of the Japan players. You see the Hua Young, you see the Angel of Light, which is always nice for when you're trying to play a little more aggressive. But as you can see here, I think he has one of the more flexible most picked units. You see the Apocalypse Robbie, the Mediator Cowrick, and the DN, all 3 of which who I think we've seen kind of transitioned into like both aggressive, both cleave, and sometimes more tank down comps. So I'm kind of curious how this will go, but I think if I had to put my money in, I think this Apocalypse Robbie pick is going to be highly contested. I think especially in game 1.
So he says here in the main matches he wants to go into the main match, but you got to beat Phantom first. Let's see who the winner is. First round and first draft. Let's see what the prevents are. Hwayoung ban and a Bellion ban. Bellion is one of the most picked actually from Phrone.
Oh, interesting. So he maybe is target banning, or a lot of players just like to get rid of the blind. Gives you a lot more flexibility on being able to cleave easier and also pick an earlier Spectre Tenebria.
I'll deal with this.
Oh, and he first picks the Apocalypse Ravi, not only taking it away from Phrone, but he might just try to cleave him.
The Conqueror Lilius is still up though, which is pretty interesting. But we know that Phantom is no stranger to picking the Rand in response. I wonder if Phrone here. I wonder if Phrone here is going to pick. Neutral with the Meteoric Howard. But yeah, as you see in response. Yeah,
the
the
pick a
Rand.
character that just he's slow and tanky, but he's not actually a huge threat. You're immediately gonna want to pick something like this. I think on Phantom's side. I think he's probably feeling a little bit confident about this so far. There's still some picks like Designer Lilibet, Sage Veil, Politis. All these kinds of characters are still up. Phrone really has to decide how he's gonna disassemble this. Something like Silk and Sid are still up, but it doesn't seem like any of the Japan region likes to pick those units.
Alencia is hovered.
Yeah, and he elects not to fully commit to the cleave quite yet. He does have the Rand, he does have the DN, he does have APOC. But from this position, Phantom can still technically move into the Spectre Tenebria. Maybe he wants to go into something like the Archdemon. Like, we'll see from this position, but I think Phrone kind of has to show his hand here about how he wants to approach, right? Depending on Phrone's 2 picks here, I think Phantom can definitely, I think with the Rimuru, maybe he chooses to tank down a little bit, or on Phantom's side, maybe deal with the more aggressive, I guess, kind of punishable draft. And as you can see here, right, Phrone electing, I think, to play more punishing towards cleave and in response. And
yeah,
as
Phantom is
drafted
now just going to pick really safe. The Spectre Tenebria pick, really strong right here. Is he actually going to go for something like Fallen Cecilia, though? I don't think so. He can actually do a lot with his draft right now, and he doesn't have to. Him not committing fully to cleave works really well against a pick like Rem. Like the Rem was actually maybe picked a little bit too early.
Yep. And this is kind of the issue, I think, with kind of committing or showing your hand too early. Because now you can kind of just play like this, and
Lilius.
oh my god, it's Conqueror. The other Lilius, Jenna.
Okay.
Wow,
wait,
first Lilius of the tournament.
I guess he's picking this because he wants a knight, but he also wants some extra aggression if the Spectre Tenebria gets banned.
You know, one of the main issues with a potential solo DPS Apocalypse Ravi is that you kind of run out of steam, and you're pretty much relying on, I don't know, dual attacks or just the Apocalypse Ravi taking turns in order to use your skill 1. But actually, if you have other Lilius, not Conqueror Lilius, you can just dual attack, and maybe that kind of control or CR manipulation and dual attacking actually makes you do enough damage to, take out this team. But I think Phrone might have to ban the Spectre Tenebria here. I think that's what he wants to ban.
There's a lot of Lilius being banned at Alencia. Seeing the first 4 picks are good enough on both sides.
I feel as though the Spectre Tenebria just has free reign here.
Yeah,
Would that be the case? Let's see. First round. Let's get in. Starting, of course, with Rand. See Lilius off by 1%.
Wow, that's pretty close, but I think this is okay. Doesn't S2 here because but it doesn't
nice
strip.
defense breaks.
I'll take your life.
But that actually does a lot of damage to that Rem. Did you see? Wait, do you see how much damage that's done to Rem?
Yeah,
Jenna,
no
I think
attack
one
buff or
S3 might
anything,
kill.
and the Lilius and Cleric and Rem took a surprising amount of damage. If that actually had the attack buff, it would have done half their health bars at least.
But the DN is provoked, so there isn't going to be any cleanse or even attack buff. That being said, Phantom still does have the Apocalypse Ravi in case if someone dies, but this looks like a really frightening right side, actually, Jenna, now that you look at it.
It is true. I think that this Reamer is probably going to try to take out the DN. I think he needs to take that out as fast as possible before he's able to get an attack buff on Spectre Tenebria, and she just takes the Rem out instantly.
Ooh, but I think Phantom sees that and is attempting to kill the Rimuru before he gets a second turn. But I think this Rimuru is kind of done after. Yeah, I think he wants to save it for the.
Oh, here we go.
Maybe?
Oh,
Just going for it.
Oh wait,
Oh,
going for a
oh, he's just.
Robbie. Oh my god, wait.
It's really close.
22k
damage. Wait a second.
Wow.
I mean, I think that was better than killing somebody else because Apocalypse Robbie would have just killed him and revived, but now he's in a position where it's like, okay, wait, she's about to die.
Okay,
but it
Rimuru does
actually
go down.
Takes it out. That does activate the Rem Demon mode, however. Emilcoric's S1 would push this Rem up as well. She's slowly creeping up.
But I think Dien and Ran are both probably going to cut ahead of this Rem, unfortunately. And as we saw, the Ran actually holding the S2 on turn 1, so now he has the immunity, which is kind of helpful here. Oh, the RNL!
The thing is, how helpful is RNL going to be here? Oh, wait!
Oh, no, it's not helpful!
The
it's
counter!
detrimental. It's
Ram's
really
alive! And her
duels right
HP's
here.
back up now!
If he duels with the Rem right here as well,
Oh my god!
no matter who he duels with, she gets a turn. Oh my!
Oh no!
This
And
is
now-
Ram's solo show!
She gets another.
Disaster!
Wait a second.
Oh, the streak's
Oh
good!
my god! The RNL!
Oh, Phrone!
Well, he didn't have to hit the Rem with the RNL. It actually would have been. It's 30% chance for a
He
counter
just
attack
AoE'd
there.
it. Oh, but she's not dead actually.
I actually think
I
that he
think
should
she's-
have gone for the S1 right there on the Apocalypse Robbie.
Your dead comrade.
But-
Oh, he's skill 3, but
Oh.
Oh,
Oh my god,
close, but
wait.
not enough.
wait.
Wait, I think him not killing the Apocalypse Robbie, is he going to be able to take it out? I think the S3 may have been a little too greedy. He was hoping that it would kill Apocalypse Robbie, but
But I don't know if this is enough damage, Jenna, because he's gonna heal. Oh, it's not.
oh no.
A Robbie will never die!
Oh no.
And he's healing.
He's
Look at him.
oh, no.
Oh!
Oh my god.
And S10 is still up.
Oh my god.
no.
Phantom does have the damage.
Okay, the only way he can do this is if he controls a Ravi enough so that she can't get her bar back. So she doesn't get
Yeah,
killed or
but-
pushed. She was just at full and he took out half. Oh, that Spectre Tenebria is hitting so hard though.
But the problem is that there's no way to stop the. Like, no matter how much you control or anything against this Apocalypse Robbie, she's just gonna keep S1ing. There's no stun, there's no there's no way of stopping this unit from attacking. So she's always gonna get her bar back. And
The heal's kind of nice. I think Phrone may have kind of threw this match. The thing is, if he had just S1'd and killed that Apocalypse Robbie,
no,
I don't
it's
think
not.
that Spectre Tenebria could have 1v1'd these two units together. I don't think it would have been possible. I think he just got a little greedy and wanted to close the match out.
It's doing
but-
more heals than the damage.
You have to get through the bar, and it just
Oh,
keeps
no.
replenishing by the time it's Phantom's turn.
I
And
think he survives. Just barely, and this is his last stand. He has to somehow take this unit out here, but
and that's GG call. Phantom takes game 1.
He had it. He just had to get that Rem S1 in there, and he 100% had it.
Oh man.
He
unfortunate.
overestimated his damage. We saw how much the Rem was doing with that skill 1, and he just needed to commit to that.
Yep.
To be fair, I think Phantom getting that tool or that RNL into counter proc in like the perfect way that it did was a little unfortunate. I that's not to say that there wasn't a chance that Phrone had it's not to say that Phrone couldn't also still take that, but
Luck
I think the Rem was
You have to play to your best according to the luck, right?
Yeah,
And he got
yeah,
that
yeah,
lucky
yeah.
situation. He could have turned it around, and when you win off of something like that, it's so tilting for your opponent that you might just sweep them in the next match after.
Yeah, one wrong choice can change everything. Phrone almost had it with Ram really being alive in that game. Phantom
Yeah.
just grabbing the first game with a very standard, really good draft. Let's see if that continues, because Phrone will get first pick here. Let's see the pre-bans for the second round.
Yeah, and so I think, I was gonna say, I don't think either of these players are gonna let the Conqueror Lilius back through. And the Apocalypse Ravi, I think, actually stolen, right? Yeah, away from Phantom this time. Now, Phrone could maybe threaten the Ran here, but maybe not based on what it looks like his highest pick rate units are. It doesn't look like he tends to go that kind of direction. We can maybe see the Dien, though, in response to, I'm assuming, Phantom's maybe Spectre Tenebria or Adventurer Raz?
Yeah, I think by picking the Emerald Quarry here, Phantom is kind of throwing away any option of Cleave, most likely. Like, he can go for an aggressive draft, but into Apoc Ravi and picking this, he's probably not going for Cleave or anything of the like.
Yeah.
Phrone, I mean, he has the option to pick something like Ran, but it doesn't seem like he's all that interested.
Ooh, Phantom quick Alencia, expecting like a Dien pick from
wait.
Phrone.
Oh!
Okay, never mind. I stand corrected. It seems like Phrone is actually right.
Oh, and the apologist too. He's down,
he's committing.
Jenna.
Oh man, we're going speed.
in.
Oh, he's interested, Jenna.
There are a bunch of anti-cleave units still left up. I guess we'll see if he decides to pick them, but I'm assuming this Politis has to be built aggressive. And since he has the Apocalypse Ravi, it's much safer of a pick since he can't just be killed by Apoc Ravi and revive somebody. Phantom hard tanking down though. We
Jenna,
could see something with the Sage Bale.
The thing about this draft though is that I feel like Phrone kind of, if he continues cleaving and he doesn't pivot down, which I don't think he's going to do, I think Phantom kind of has two, maybe not useless per se, but he doesn't really have two traditional cleave counters here on the left side, right? The Alencia, although okay, I guess, into some cleave, like usually the Meteor Cowric does damn near nothing actually against the Ran draft, right? I'm curious if I get okay. So we do see the Caesarea pick here, which I think kind of means that he's going to try to ban the Dill a bit. But I'm curious what his second open. Ooh,
Kisei.
So I was actually wondering if he would pick this.
Oh, wow.
This is actually something that he mentioned in his like little player sheet. He said it's hard for him to play if people pre-ban Kisei and Belian.
Huh.
Well, but he only played Kisei
really like
8 times,
character.
so it's not
That's
it's certainly
surprising.
not the most picked hero from Phrone.
He actually can activate it too with the Kisei S2, I guess.
Ramban and Ran Ban.
He's able to reset the designer a little bit or the Cleric right here if he wants.
Oh, let's see, round 2, starting with
Oh, the
Kisei.
terrors of the night.
Phrone, can he pull off something amazing here?
Oh, he actually is
He's
going
really
for
just
it.
S2ing. He's crazy.
Wait, there's no way. I don't
think this is
gonna
enough
work,
though,
is
Jenna.
it?
Yeah, I don't think this is enough. Not into FCC. I don't think so.
The thing is, he just doesn't have the damage.
Yeah. Oh.
Unless he
No.
duels every turn of this match, or just every single turn, maybe he can do this.
Is he trying to maybe stun the? No, but it doesn't really matter because the Meteor Cowric is coming next, and this team looks like it's gonna die. Oh, but
he's just going for as much damage as possible. I think just to have
Focus.
a Ravi close the whole match out by herself, possibly.
And it looks like the stun is going to come out, but is it enough damage? It's not.
I mean, it does a
close,
fair
but-
bit, so Apocalypse Ravi could possibly kill something, but she's also gonna get reset.
Oh, actually, Jenna, though, if... Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, maybe if he forced out the skill 3 from... Or if he forced out a non-attack skill, maybe the Politis might do enough damage to finish off the Valencia, but...
Nice counter.
That Lilibet.
I'll take your life.
I was a little surprised that he didn't try to bomb the designer Lilibet to stun her, because then if Emil Quirk used the S3, then Politis would have gone, another
but
duel.
no counter. But no stun, rather.
This Unity set Politis is working pretty well. Also, did Alencia just not crit anybody? Not
What?
even
Huh?
Kisei?
That it's on Alencia's Wrath, but I don't think that means you run 0 crit chance, Jenna.
It missed 4 crits? This is a interesting Alencia.
Yeah, still brought down 2 units on the right side.
Do I
I think that he's just in too much trouble here, though. Wow, it really just does not crit.
Oh my god.
It is
That's,
incapable of critting. Oh wait, no, we got one.
Okay.
We found one.
Your life ends
The
here.
thing is, he's not able to do enough damage to actually finish this off, and he has a 2-turn defense break, so he's just kind of locked.
He has to run the Apocalypse S3, I think, into Alencia. It's unfortunate because I don't think there's any world that it lands, but I think he has to send it. He has to try, and it's
there's just no way that
there's a lot of buffs on Alencia. And Phrone can't do it. That is just going to be it. Phantom, another 2-0, will be advancing into the finals to go against Marguerite.
The Kisei pick just didn't really work out all that well there.
Yeah.
He really needed something else in his team to be able to take him out, and he just, I don't know if he panicked or he just went with a pick that he liked, but I think that first match, he had it, but he made a slight misplay. And then the second match, I think he wasn't quite sure what he wanted to do.
Something that I was kind of thinking about, Jenna, was I was kind of thinking that with the Kisei, maybe he would have reset, like kind of what you said, right? If he reset the Mediator Cowrick and then bombed the Dilibit, maybe, you know, like 2 of the AoEs or like some of the buffs and stuff don't go out, but I think that's about all I could think of regarding his draft. Maybe he needed something like, I think maybe if he had like even like a Peyra, a Pavel or something, he might have been a little bit better off, but I think you kind of saw like the weaknesses of the Caesarea, especially when you just pick it into 2 cleansers, right? Just really not much value at all.
Some questionable decisions from Phrone there. Did lose 0-2 against Phantom. Now, just taking a look into the highlight of the semifinals that we just had. We got to see some Arvid or Vildred max powered up.
The 15,000 health Arvid. That match, Sonata almost could have done it. He just needed some more damage. It feels like a lot of the cleave type stuff that we saw, it felt like the person almost was there, but they were just missing either some small component or just not enough damage. There was just something that they were slightly missing. This Arya match, though,
this round was really cool. Arya actually did a lot of work.
Arya is a character that you can't pick them all the time, but if you pick them in the right position, they can be really, really cool.
Was the only game that Marguerite actually dropped in this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why Marguerite is overall the #1 Japan player. I think they showed it pretty well. They're pretty cleanly beat all of their opponents, I would say.
And this Remnant Violet game, I think I can until he couldn't and got hit. Was this the Shu S3? I think that one shot.
You know, I hate to say it, but I think Violet there actually would have done a much better job than Remnant Violet.
He was hovering it. If you saw it, right? He
did during the draft. Maybe he had better gears on Violet instead. Yeah, this is game 1 for Phantom and Phrone, where Ram almost had it.
Oh man. This was a tragedy.
He had it. He definitely had it, but he was just way too optimistic. He went for a play that he just didn't need to make. He wasn't in such a position that he had to try and one-shot the Spectre Tenebria. He could have just gotten rid of that A Ravi, and then Spectre could not have fought back.
Yeah. I definitely think he kind of just I think in his head he probably thought that it would overkill anyways, or that, you know, he would see the little end of match input lag, but that's really unfortunate. I'm curious what the stats on his remnant are, because it was kind of squishy if you recall, but also it didn't one-shot a Spectre Tenebria with attack buff that late into Frenzy too, so
and
unfortunate, but
let's move into the finals. We'll have the winner will be going into the main stage. Let's see if it's going to be Margaret or Phantom. Both very strong, the top 2 win rate from the server.
Life goes on. His opponent, I think, actually has the higher win rate at 80%, right?
Yeah, but Phantom's slightly higher.
Marguerite is a player that I feel like most people know, not just because he's high up, but because he plays 24 hours a day.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and I really like Phantom's playstyle. I think he's very he's very good at adjusting to the draft that the draft that his opponent has. Not afraid to go into the cleave, but also very not afraid to just anti-cleave the second that they respond aggressively and they kind of lose cleave options. But here we go. This is the finals, guys.
Let's see. Only
Game
one moves into the main match. Hwa Young, Angel of Light being banned in the prevent.
I'll do anything.
Into a first pick, Emil Kowarik. I guess stuff like Belian hasn't been pre-banned, so maybe Phantom's just feeling like, I don't think my opponent's gonna cleave me here.
Okay, Ravi. Still no C
really
Lilius.
interesting. That's really interesting because haven't both players I think shown ran at this
Let's
point
do
now?
this.
Maybe if I recall they both did, but maybe not. Marguerite electing to pick or take away the Meteor or the Adventurer Roz from Phantom here, disabling the I think fairly strong combo of Meteor to Cowrick and Adventurer Roz, but he does leave open the Alencia, which is really nice, especially into the shield, and obviously it can provide some injury into the Apocalypse Robbie. But Bellion, I think this is the first time we saw Bellion today, right?
Early Belian. I think that most people like to usually pick her a little bit later. I wonder if Marguerite has something can respond. I mean, look at the 2 units right there. What does that instantly bring to mind? Something like Lionheart Cermia. Yeah, and there it is. As soon as you see 2 characters that uncontrollably are going to get extra attacks. The DN picked into the Alencia is definitely interesting. Maybe he's just going to hold some of the skills and force the Alencia to have to S3 early just to defend the team. Wait, takes the Crow though. Crow's actually really good at taking out something like Lionheart Cermia. She does so much AoE damage that inevitably he's going to be able to horse her at the end. But the Apocalypse Ravi might be a problem if she's just able to revive her.
The DN is really, really, really questionable, I think, Jenna. Even with this Bellion and the Meteor Cowrick, you can strip away a lot of the buffs that this DN has, and even more so if you provide the buffs to, say, the Lionheart Cermia. Meteor Cowrick was already going to try and go for that strip anyways, right? But here we see the Shu, right, which I think actually is a pretty good pick into Marguerite's left side, but can actually activate the Lionheart Cermia. So I'm curious. Oh my God, who is that?
Okay. Wait a second.
The Big K.
So this is a character that I see coming out of Europe a bunch of times. But,
banned
he gets
away.
banned.
Along with
No.
Brown on the right side. Won't get
what
to
a
see that
shame.
martial arts action.
I wanted to see him. Ricardo, poor guy, got banned.
Oh man, but here we go. Round number 1 starting with ML Kowarik on the right.
Yeah. So I think
What a
we're gonna
shame.
see a fairly standard match here, I think. Phantom's team doesn't really die on the off chance that a counter or something when there is an Emil Cermia S3.
The thing is, all of his characters counterattack, pretty much,
Yeah.
other than Kowarik.
Yeah.
So this Lionheart Cermia is eating good today.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's a pretty good chunk onto the Bellion there. But
Yeah, you see this right here, he has to use the S3 even though DN hasn't put her buffs up. He just doesn't really have much of a choice because he's going to be dealt too much damage. Wow,
Good chunk
this
of damage
Lion
again.
She's getting really destroyed. This Shu, as soon as she gets...
but the heal buff.
Okay, that sustain is actually always really nice. If she keeps getting the heal buff, it's actually going to waste so much of the time of Marguerite.
Yeah, and the S3 not provoking
resist.
anything.
Wow.
Wow, not
That's
a
big.
single one.
Well, I think what but the anti-crit does come out, so this does kind of stabilize I think Phantom's team a little bit, at least for the moment. Wow, that's pretty good damage.
Okay,
onto
Ross he's dying. He's less than half health already, just for the amount of AoEs that are coming out. And we finally are
onto
going to
the
have
DN.
Cermia activated here.
Yeah, but I wonder if it's enough because the defense buff, the anti-crits, this doesn't really look like the ideal situation for a Lionheart Cermia to press S3 into, but we'll see if the sustain here is enough for Marguerite to heal up and kind of stabilize his own side here. Oh, but the
No
damage onto
anti-crit.
Bellion.
Wow, Bellion not really doing much work.
not a single counterattack has happened from Shu, and Lion has
there's
a
a
counter.
strip.
That's
That's
big.
big.
Skipping those is actually pretty big. Oh, here's the counter. And
No,
S2.
no proc.
The counterattacks from Phantom not really happening often.
Any counters here though? This could be really big. Oh, one.
Oh, but
No S2.
Oh, that's it.
oh,
But
Oh.
if this actually crits, it would kill the Ross possibly.
Oh,
Oh,
targeting
he
Goes
yeah,
to
has
the
to
end,
go for the
but doesn't crit.
Sure you can
Really
handle
unfortunate.
okay. So
The defense buff was given back because of the Ross's S3, so he doesn't care that it got stripped before.
Here we go with the S3. Let's see the
all right,
damage.
let's see.
And
Not much.
Damn, what damage?
And nothing.
Double counterattack. Wait a second.
Oh my god! And
Oh,
the proc. And no,
here we go.
the proc!
We finally got one. It activated
Shield
the
pop.
Ross shield, but oh my.
Yeah, Shu doing some work, but
Yeah,
not
this-
too
oh my
much.
God.
Oh, again?
This Shu is the new age Charles, just half his size but twice his strength.
Oh, will there be any strips here though?
waste time.
Oh no, but this
Doesn't
might.
look
I
like
think
it.
this is gonna kill the adventurer
Well,
Ross.
Ross and Dien
oh,
are
no.
just hanging on by a thread. Dien's able to actually get the nice shield up,
I'll
and with
deal
Rod of
with
Amaryllis,
this.
it definitely helps, but they're
Oh.
barely alive. Wow, anti-crit is just not working every time a Ravi attacks. This blind's lost half
Yeah.
of her whole health bar just about.
Show your elders some respect.
Yeah, and I guess I shouldn't be too excited because even though this Dien and Adventure Ross are really close to dying, let's not forget about the lady with the axe in the front because one of those units is definitely coming back. But
Before you know it.
That
I
defense
think this
break.
is.
Oh,
Oh no! Not again! It's gone!
This Hermia gone!
Oh my god!
And she's gone!
This rat creature is just spamming her S2 non-stop. She is attacking constantly. She's angry. Anytime anyone hits one of her
my
allies,
God.
she just goes in.
Oh my god! Please
Ross,
have
oh,
mercy!
No S2, but
Have mercy! Oh god!
as we can see here, just anytime you take a turn, you start sweating because you immediately
Yeah.
know Shu has a chance to just kill someone.
Oh god! And that was so unfortunate too. Maybe it might not have mattered, but Marguerite really. Oh,
my
my god!
What?
Please.
I gotta
Good
say,
chances.
40% chance. I feel
Oh,
like 30% chance is a little high, don't you
my
think?
God.
Oh my.
Jenna!
Oh gosh.
Shu
Guys.
is just doing whatever they want this
Oh
match.
my
Just,
god! Hey,
I want to
Give me
see the
another.
damage
Give me
chart at
another.
the end of this game.
I'll give you
Oh,
a taste of defeat.
Hermia's back,
Oh,
but
does-
no other buffs on her.
Yeah, no defense buff, so she loses a lot of damage there, but
oh, does
no
get the two
crit, snow
crits, but-
crystal.
You can handle this. What are you doing?
Oh,
I have to say,
Oh,
Shu
the
on
duel's
snow
pretty good.
crystal, really hard to kill.
yeah. Like really. Oh my
Oh.
god! And so many dual tech. Not that the dual tech really matter per se, but my goodness, Phantom
Shu?
man, he's.
Yeah, this Shu, by the way, full health. Like, this character is almost untouchable, and she's able to heal,
And
and she
Oh, and the
supports team.
strip again.
Huh?
And she just S3s, blows the horn, and just jumps on him.
Yeah, this
and
time,
Yeah.
I don't
luck
think there's
seems
really
to
a
be
whole
on
lot.
Phantom's side.
Wow.
Oh,
so
yeah.
way too much.
Marguerite
After that
saying,
match,
okay.
one of two things is gonna happen. Marguerite's either gonna ban Shu, or they're gonna pick Shu.
Uh-huh.
And Marguerite's
Yeah.
picked Shu in the past. I would kind of expect that.
Wow. Oh,
That Shu, what was that? A 30% counter chance if you hit her, and 20% if you hit any of the allies. Just constantly proccing into a 40% chance off of the S1 into the S2.
Jenna, I
And
think
the
you're
Shu is
thinking
7%.
So
I think
here's
you're
my
thinking
question.
too
Yeah, here's my
narrowly.
question, guys. Did Bellion take too much damage instead, so giving a lot of chances for Shu and the rest of the team? Is that the
Well-
reason why a lot of players are just banning Bellion all the time?
Well, Belian just kind of disables a lot of stuff. Like, you can't really cleave that well into her. There's a lot of cleave units you might want to pick, such as Ida and stuff that you can't really take into her.
Yeah.
And also, by banning her, you're able to pick an earlier Spectre Tenebria, possibly, for some of the teams,
Yep.
so you can
there's
have
a
a
lot.
ambiguous draft. So, the character... They're pretty much a no-fun character for a lot of people, where they just want to take them out because there's so many things that it disables the moment that your opponent's able to have that on the board.
Okay. Phantom just needs one more to move into the main stage. Or will it be Marguerite now with the first pick striking back in this best of 3? Will they be taking their time with the pre-bans?
You know, in that last match, the Lion was MVP despite Shu, I feel like, doing everything in the whole match.
Yep. This time Billion banned away with S10 ban.
Yeah. So it seems like Phantom banned the Belian possibly to pick something expected Tenebria, but Marguerite took it away, and
it's the run back.
Yeah, I think that Shu might be getting picked by Phantom again. He's probably feeling pretty good after that last one.
Valencia taken away into Phantom's hands now.
So Marguerite now has to make the decision of how they really want to flex their team, because the A-Ravi is such a flexible pick where you can go into Cleave, you can go into Standard, any sort of playstyle you want. It looks like he's kind of committed to the Standard playstyle. Shu isn't as great of a pick here into Phantom just because there's stuff like the Alencia. So Phantom's kind of covered his bases a little bit against a pick like that.
Along with A-Ras, what will Marguerite combine this third pick?
I think he might be looking for
a neutral
I was
pick.
gonna say, yeah, like the Dien, but I guess maybe not really.
I don't
into
know
the
about the
Alencia now,
Dien.
right?
This happened last time,
After
right?
Alencia?
Yeah, I take that back. I
Yeah,
don't really
it's
like
almost the
Dien,
same
so-
situation as last time. Is Phantom just gonna say Shu again?
I mean, if
could
it if it ain't broke, don't if it ain't broke, don't fix it, Jenna. We could definitely see Shu again, but this time he doesn't have the Bellion, so he is going to have a more
I don't know if
neutral
he
pick.
needs that though, because the Spectre Tenebra is also taken out, so he doesn't really need too many characters that have reach to deal with Phantom's team, I feel.
Maybe Marguerite
unless
is ready
Landy.
for the pick.
Ooh, okay, there it is. The rat's coming out.
Again, it is for Phantom. And waiting for the fourth pick. Ooh, Destina. Considering Destina for fourth.
You know, it's interesting. In some of the other matches that we saw, especially in Global, Destina was actually a really banned unit, like picked near the end of the draft and banned constantly. But we haven't been seeing it much from some of the players here in Japan that are playing slower playstyles. Wow.
Ooh, Violet.
Oh my
Margaret
God.
goes for the Hail Mary pick. The thing is, it's actually
If you
really
miss, I
good
win.
into Phantom's team because Alencia's 2 separate hits, but doesn't do insane damage on either one really. So she's probably gonna miss a good amount of the time, and Shu just can't hit her. So I almost feel like Milim gets banned and Violet gets banned, but then I don't know, that this is going to be an actual interesting
Yeah,
one.
Margaret's answer against Shu seems to be Violet, and Violet does go through the end ban
He
instead.
thinks he can take out the Violet?
Oh,
That's-
interesting choice.
Just comes down to praying, I hope Alencia hits him twice. That's kind of how the whole match is going to be, isn't it?
Let's see.
Maybe once you hit a certain threshold with injury, maybe it doesn't matter anymore, and you can just kill him with straight damage. But he does have to hit the Violet to get to that point.
The thing is also, he doesn't have much mitigation on his team, so the Violet's going to be hitting pretty hard. I know he gets defense buff and he gets the anti-crit, but still, he has to take this Violet out as fast as possible, but I think he has to leave him till last.
Let's see, round number 2, Phantom. Ooh, defense break, that's good on A-Ravi. Yeah,
Nice
putting
amount of
some
damage with the injury, but she is just going to be healing that back. It's mostly just for the injury, I would say. She does no damage at all, and Quirk Shield is great. Landy is a bit of a problem. The thing is, if you get the right turn order, then Alencia is able to use her S3 to take her out of stealth and immediately go into an S1 to do tons of damage. Actually, she didn't even stealth, excuse me.
Is that the second time?
There's a defense
but the
break.
defense break.
These are plus 15 guiding lights, it looks like.
Yeah, very kind of questionable actions by Landy here, but I think a lot of what Marguerite's plan here is just to start taking out some of the DPS so that eventually this is just going to end in a
2 versus
in a
Violet
solo,
situation.
right? Yeah.
The moment that
Oh my God, he strikes again.
You know,
First hit.
it might not. Wait, no crit. The Lensonox's Wrath is pretty popular among these players here.
Landy
too,
survives.
Right? Landy goes invisible, possibly. She does this time.
Okay.
the thing is, I just don't really see what Phantom can do to this Violet. He's just pummeling the Alencia because he knows the moment Alencia's gone, the match is over. I know Diane can revive her, but like, it's so easy to take out a unit that gets revived.
And here's the defense buff
Yeah.
from Aros.
Don't be afraid.
We really see a lot of Shu and Alencias in these matches, though, and also paired together. They're just, ever since the recent buff, seems to be having a really good place in the meta.
Poor Felicia.
Ooh, and
This
it
time
looks like
Shu's
this landing's
being
gonna tick up.
quiet.
The Guardian
Yeah.
X Crystals is doing a lot of work, but since there's almost no buffs on Phantom's side,
Do I
the
look like a pushover to you?
Landy really hasn't done that much.
Assistant.
Oh, actually hits the Violet, so she's not
Oh.
going to get counterattacked.
Yeah, and the Landy, so close to death,
Not
but
doing
not
enough
quite
damage because Stealth gives 50% damage reduction from AoE, so the Alencia didn't really have much way of killing them there.
I'll take your life.
Yeah.
Let's say it doesn't go down.
She finally dies, but something that's important is Destina's revive leaves you with a really small amount of health, a really piddly amount. And then also, you revive at the same spot where you died. So it can be really difficult to ever get the revive at a good position to make that unit able to survive and stabilize. I think that Marguerite is in such a good position that, because it's Violet, like how are you going to deal with it?
Violet is now full stack.
Phantom might not be trying to revive the Alencia because I think as it is right now, there isn't any way for the Apocalypse Robbie to revive any unit, right? Like there isn't a great kill target here.
S3 on the Shu.
Oh my
God.
18,000 damage.
Well,
And into a duel.
Oh, and it.
Wait, there's Ice
well,
Crystal too. So him actually critting there was really lucky because there's the anti-crit and Snow Crystal, and it doesn't actually stack to 70%. It's two separate instances of a 20% chance and a 50% chance.
Okay,
But he's just going for it.
S3 onto Shu.
Oh
No!
You know, I think he's in such control here. He may as well just have been patient. I don't think he was really in much of a rush.
Yeah,
If he had
and
just waited an extra turn, because I mean Ross is dead. He can't revive anybody.
yeah.
You know, the thing is though, even though he made that decision and it didn't work out, I still think Marguerite has the advantage. It's just how do you fight Violet here? And not to mention, there's a 30% damage reduction of Shu into Violet, so literally the only person that can really do it is going to be Alencia, and she's dead. So he has to take out the Apocalypse Ravi to then revive Alencia and hope that she lands the hits.
Let's see. Another damage.
I'll deal with
About
this.
6k.
Snow Crystal plus Ice Crystal doing a lot of work.
Oh, and another crit, and she's
But she got
dead.
hit.
Don't be afraid.
It's like
And
Render
that's
Violet,
it.
at some point you're gonna get hit.
Ooh,
Destina
but
can
he does still
revive,
revive.
But
yeah,
the problem is, can he really do anything after this?
Show your elders some respect.
Here is the Alencia's Wrath
Alencia-
does injure.
Yeah, reset the Alencia
Defense break?
Wrath as
Oh.
well.
So this should be
He
enough.
does do a nice amount of
wow,
damage, and
actually-
Shu's going next and has S2
Okay.
up. I think that she's dead, but the problem is, once you kill her, you have to attack Violet.
Yeah, okay, so,
So
the...
it's the Violet show.
The Ravi gets taken out. 1v4.
Oh, that's really
that-
unfortunate,
Make
too.
that 3 now.
Yeah, he needed her to survive at least one turn to have any shot there, I think, because... Okay, theoretically,
Oh, okay.
if Shu dies, and Koeric and Destina land every single attack,
Great job. Keep it up.
I once had a match where my Remnant Violet got hit 5 times in a row by Soul Weavers and died. Anything can
Shoot.
happen.
Yeah, quickly
Right
gone.
here.
There's a counter.
Oh, but I think she's dead. It's too much.
It's over.
Frenzy
Yeah, full stack.
The
It's
S3
Frenzy
up.
5.
Here's S3.
I just don't really see Koeric taking out a Violet.
Gone, and Marguerite has
Unless.
1v4.
He knows there's a chance. He knows that it's technically possible
never give up.
for him to land every single attack.
Never give up.
And Violet won't be able to keep up. Oh, there's one.
Oh, decrease attack.
Almost half his health bar too. Is this his miracle moment?
But we'll cleanse it with S2.
Okay, he's back
Oh,
to full
that's a
health,
lot
but let's
of
ignore
damage.
that.
We're in frenzy section.
Oh, hits.
Oh,
man.
It's
Boy, he had
Oh, man.
Oh, I imagine if he got the third one in the row into the fourth with the S2, he may almost have had a chance there.
And that is GG.
Even the E7 World Championship is not free from Violet solos, guys. See
Violet
that?
1v4. We got to see it once at least.
Even the best of the
I don't know if
best
that's a good thing,
lose to
J5.
Violet as well.
Yeah, but Marguerite, this draft he was ready for Shu as a counter pick.
Yeah, well,
We thought the
Phantom-
DN pick was pretty weird, but he was ready with Violet.
yeah, Phantom last game, the shoe just went wild. In this game, it was Violet. So each player's kind of had a match where they had one character just dominate the entire game. Somehow Apocalypse Ravi is the MVP, but I don't think the AI read the fact that Violet basically won that whole match by himself.
Yes. Offensive contribution, of course, 66% for Violet.
Yeah.
It's just, you knew it had to get to that point. Like, you kill all the other units, and then it's just the Violet show. And Marguerite knew exactly what he was doing. He said, the moment that Alencia is gone, he can't do anything. There's no way he can kill Violet. So he just played to his outs, and it worked perfectly.
Oh, and it has to come down to the final game. 1-1 tied. The winner moves up into the main matches. Who will it be from Japan? And Violet Ben for the first time ever.
He wants to pick Shu. Wow, he really
Shu.
wants Shu.
This is emotional damage for real, guys.
And
Oh
Marguerite
my
picks
goodness
Shu instead.
gracious.
That could turn things around.
Marguerite
Oh,
could
Alencia.
go for Shu. He picks the Alencia, which is a decent.
With Dian.
Alencia and Dian, I actually kind of like that because it plays your advantage where they can't really strip the buffs off of Dian this time. He keeps having to play into the Alencia. He's tired of it. Phantom could go for Adventure Ross right here. That's still up, and it's a really popular pick with the Emil Kowarik just for a solid team. And now Phantom has to think, do I really want to pick Shu here? Like, maybe I'll wait until my later picks to pick something like that.
But this time Phantom taking the Apocalypse Robbie in response. I don't actually know how much I like that pick though.
Well,
into Dian and
I think Apocalypse Robbie has a lot of trouble into Dian often. And Marguerite says, I have Alencia, so I'm going to take Shu as well. Oh boy.
Yeah, Marguerite's saying
is on the other
you're not
foot.
the only one with the Shu.
Oh boy. Marguerite now has to decide, is he just going to pick like a tank or support? He probably wants to hold off of taking... Okay. He goes to the T-Crozet actually.
Isn't this our first Crozet?
I
think
so, yes.
Yeah, he's usually an anti-cleave option a lot of people like to do, but I'm kind of surprised that he took it in the situation because he only gets to protect one unit, and the rest of your team is left so open. Who is he trying to protect? Is it Shu?
Let's see who gets to go get to put on the back Marguerite's side. Yeah, Phantom really taking his time now.
It's funny to say, but if you think about it, Ross almost just does what T-Crozet does, but then has an Aureus for the whole team and a defense buff for the whole team, and more aggression.
and a dual attack.
Yeah, so
and
he
a
kind of
death
just
break.
does everything T-Crozet does. Oh, and he's not a creep. So he kind of just beats T-Crozet in almost every category in a standard match, and T-Crozet feels like a really weak pick in comparison.
Archiman and Rimuru to finish off for Phantom.
Reamer is an interesting pick. I think it's partially just because there's so many buffs going to be on Marguerite's side. And
Elemental advantage?
he doesn't have two. Oh, okay. Goes to the Solitaria last pick. So that's a good last pick, and I expect it to be banned. But I think Archdemon is a little frustrating for the left side as well. Marguerite's Shu was actually resisting things throughout the entire matches, and I'm starting to think it might not even be 15%. Is it built on a little bit of resistance?
Let's see, Solitaria ban and Archdemon ban.
Maybe that's why he has the Alencia's Wrath. Give up some of the crit chance and maybe some PR.
Both of them go for the honest ban there. Just no tricks, just you want to take that unit out, and you're not going for any tricky things.
And
the glutton on the Rimuru, by the way, Jenna.
I think that the problem is left side, it's so squishy. It might look like it's really tanky, but the T-Crozzet's only protecting Shu. If you're able to take everybody else out, it's just Shu versus the world.
I never fight a losing.
I mean, that might just be enough, depending on how excited she gets. But
we have seen Shu versus the world win a lot of these matches.
We'll see, because the winner moves on to the main match. Comes down to this one game.
Yeah,
Pretty
and
high health Ross, 28,000 health. Probably doesn't have too much defense, but he protected the Rimuru in the back. Maybe he's trying to make this match take a while so that he's able to get multiple soul burns on him. The resistance into the anti-crit coming out.
Will it be enough from
He's able to
Marguerite?
get some. The buffs are really nice, especially that anti-crit, but Alencia is able to. Oh,
Nice
wait
buff.
a second.
oh
Wait a second.
God.
T-Cross is the tank, right?
It looks like.
Oh, just a minute. This is.
She just dead.
26k!
Wait a second. So this is a really high damage Rimuru.
Oh my God.
He just completely demolished them, and he
and it
resisted
didn't
that.
strip.
I don't know if he can really kill Rimuru anytime soon. He's gonna be really hard to deal with, especially with the Russell. He's landing every. Marguerite's anti-crit is non-existent in this match.
Oh, and
Yep, that's...
Oh, okay.
If you're scared,
Still
We
shooted
will-
some damage on Rimuru.
guide you on to the right
Is it gonna strip? And it does, and this
it
Alencia is
does.
just about to get taken out already. So this is the exact situation I was talking about, though. It's just everyone else is dead. They instantly die. They have no protection, no mitigation, and now it's just Shu. And if Shu counters on every single attack, she could win. That's entirely possible. If she,
Hold on, hold on there, Jenna.
oh my god! I should have shut up. I need to shut the hell up. Oh god!
Is this the start? Hey, Robbie's gone. Okay. Okay, that's one.
Stop.
Oh my!
Okay,
this shouldn't
not this time.
happen. Oh, the rat gang coming out.
Yeah, Jenna with the caster curse there. Let's see if it continues.
Oh, what have I done? Oh, I'm so sorry, Marguerite. That was tragic. That was like the one point in this whole match. It was so pivotal while that defense break was there. That was the most important thing that could have happened for Marguerite.
Counter?
And
And the double.
I think Shu's just gonna pop off this match.
Oh man.
The thing is,
it looks
this-
so
this
fine
Rimuru-
before, but
Rimuru is actually only 2 turns away from his S3 though. Well, and the moment he does that, he might be able to one-shot her. Oh no.
oh my God, it is pulling
No
through the
anti-crit. Anti-crit is doing nothing. It is a worthless...
Oh,
it is completely
it's certainly
worthless.
not working in this game.
I think
It wasn't working for Marguerite, and he stole a broken anti-crit. Neither of them are doing anything.
All right,
Oh,
let's do
okay,
this.
Ross.
Ross barely clinging to life, but he doesn't have anything up.
How can I help?
Survive
Oh,
again.
but-
Shu takes the turn.
Shu can just go for Koeric and kill with the Aureus damage.
Oh, did the shield on Rimuru ever... Did it happen yet? Or I don't think so, right?
Oh,
I'm kind of surprised that he went for the Ross there, since it would have died from the Aureus damage anyways. But yeah, I don't think the Rimuru even activated the shield, because they never really went for Rimuru. All the damage dealt to him, I think, is just from random AoEs and counters.
Oh,
This one seems a good
the Shu
match.
now attack down, completely stripped the buffs.
is it going to be
I
enough?
think-
Is this a holy stack? Reviving? Yeah,
it
holy
is,
stack.
but-
So Rimuru's damage did so much that he died.
But this Rimuru, you guys have to remember. I think the Rimuru actually has his S2 back up. I think now, right?
Yeah,
So
I think he might be
and
able to
he
close out. The
hit-
moment T
Oh.
Crozet attacks, he's going to die.
Ooh, and Shu cut too, right? So it's actually just the actually.
Anti-crit actually working. This Rimuru is actually just the solo DPS for Phantom, and it's working so
Oh,
well.
and
His
there we
damage,
go.
look how much damage this is going to do. He's hitting so hard.
And there we
Crozet
go.
gone. Only Shu left on the
And
left side.
This is just gonna take her out. Yeah, look at the damage.
12k!
Phantom actually taking out Marguerite
my
here.
God! And here
Wow! Phantom will
Wow.
be the winner from the Japanese qualifier. And moving
I
up
would
into
say-
the main stage.
Wow, Marguerite was
Wow.
definitely more the favorite, I think, to win just
Yeah, I
out of
think
the
so
Japan
too.
bracket, but Phantom did a really good job there. And wow, the Shu match happened, and now the Rimuru match. It seems like some of the matches just came down to like one character took out the whole other team.
Yeah, this
Each
damage
match.
Rimuru was really something here.
He was doing an
Yeah.
insane amount. Like, I've never really seen a Rimuru do so much by himself to an entire team.
Yeah, and GG's to both players, of course, but
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a little bit closer, I think, than it had to be.
Apocalypse Ravi was the MVP for getting slaughtered in one turn.
Yeah, that was pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, we would all
certainly not the Rimuru.
agree on Rimuru MVP, I think.
Yeah.
Robbie just seems to be getting a lot of MVP.
That was actually really surprising. I thought that, I thought that Shu might just run away with the match, but the Rimuru did so much in that fight.
Yeah, and I mean, again, for as much as Rimuru, I think has fallen off a little bit as a pick, because there's a lot of answers
less
to
popular.
him now. Yeah, the Angel of Light always still popular. Doesn't do that great into like super tanky teams. And, the whole list of Adventure Ross.
Keep in mind, a lot of characters are banned. You had 6 characters banned, and they had picked Adventure Ross. In a situation like that, Rimuru's looking a lot more useful, because most of the counters were taken out to him, and you have the Ross. So when you get these matches, and so many units are banned, it changes everything. And when we get to the main stage, we're going to be having best of 5s, and when 10 units are banned, it starts getting a little crazy.
Yeah, yep. I think we'll definitely see him there too. But again, I am kind of speechless. Shu kind of doing work for both sides, but oh my god, I don't think you can understand how crazy that game was, or the game 1 was for Phantom. Oh my god, that Shu relentless, a literal monster actually. But well, all's end. What's the saying? All's well that ends well. So GG's to both players.
Yeah.
And,
is this what we
we'll
sort of expected
see.
from the Japanese qualifiers? I mean, we got some real big highlights.
I actually expected even weirder pick, to be honest.
Mhm.
I've seen some crazy stuff on the ladder. I think they actually went for much safer things than what you normally see.
Yeah,
but
it is a tournament.
We still had,
Mhm.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, we did see some stuff like that opener Landy being picked all the time and things. And we definitely saw evidence of Shu being kind of incredible. It seems like every single day of the tournament, Shu looks like a better character, just over and over. This character is looking. Look at this right here.
Yeah, even against Hwayoung, had a lot of highlights yesterday.
Yeah. She's also good against Hwayoung, one of the scariest units to fight against, which is a pretty huge deal. It just feels like her stocks are going up and up every single day.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm kind of surprised, Jenna, now that you mention it. I was kind of expecting, maybe, I don't know, a Garen, a Pirate Captain Flan. This server, for whatever reason, really does like Pirate Captain Flan. I feel like I fought against every single JP player with or against the Pirate Flan, rather. And I mean, as we see it, Phantom taking it 2-1, and we'll see him in the main stage in 2 weeks?
Yeah, in 3 weeks, I believe. Yeah, 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, certainly we had the strongest two moving into the finals, so that final best of 3 was really good. And got to see a lot of Shu highlights. Congratulations to Phantom again. But yeah, we had a lot of cool moments. Like sanadakuon also had some cool, really fast landing. Didn't really quite work out.
I was a really big fan of sanadakuon. I kind of thought that he could have taken the game away from Marguerite, but just a little unfortunate in the game 3. And I really thought that maybe forcing the Landy away from him would have done a little bit better, because it kind of felt like he was forcing it a little bit. But unfortunate. Marguerite obviously taking it 2-1, but
I think the players played very well. And we saw some pretty good matches. Even though they didn't stray away too far from what you normally see in the meta, we definitely saw some different games, like the Arya solo, the Shu solo, the Rimuru solo.
Just the Shu solo again, right, Jenna? And the
so
Shu
fun.
S1 again? Oh, man!
Yeah, and the Violet, there definitely were... They were different matches because it felt like singular characters were winning against the whole other team rather than an entire team mesh.
Yeah, and we saw our first Violet solo. Damn, I really thought we were going to see that earlier in the series or in the tournament, but you know what?
That was it for the Japan qualifiers, but in less than 4 hours, we have European qualifier here starting from round of 8. So that will be another big one. Just if you guys can stay up, or if you're just waking up, make sure to tune into this one, because in, I believe, only 3 hours and 40 minutes. Yeah, not too much time actually before we have
Yeah.
that another round of 8 for the Europe qualifiers, we'll have
Yeah, they had to push it back because of
the European time.
yeah, to make it so that they can actually be awake. I mean, to be fair, it's fair if all of them are tired, right?
I guess.
I think the viewers probably want to be able to see
Yeah, we want the
and
best
root for
matches,
them.
though.
There are
Yeah,
some
yeah.
very dedicated EU fans for some of those players, and I think they definitely want to be able to wake up bright and early and watch their favorite player and root for them.
I think
Yeah, Kana.
I was gonna say I think the players are really exciting this time around too. I know EU is only getting 1 slot, but those players are really no slouch. I mean, Jenna, if I recall, you played with Samu, right, in the CCI, right? And
No,
really...
I didn't play with him, but I was rooting him
Oh,
on because
yeah.
hey, Sama was on a Lights team, and
Right,
Mike was actually taken out, and he took out both of his opponents. He was popping off in the tournament. He was picking Destina. He was picking characters like Kawazu. So you see a lot of Kawazu amongst a lot of the EU players, I think. They definitely have some picks they like to share around the community that have become really popular.
EU will be another very exciting qualifier. Not, only 3.5 hours. You just have to wait just a little bit. But for now, this will be it for the Japan qualifiers. Thanks for watching, and we will be back in less than 4 hours.
You're just my beautiful light. 너를 힘들게 하는 모든 걸 잊어버려. Stay me in my kingdom. 무기력한 날들 견디기 힘들 때면 언제든 찾아와. I'll be your energy. Just say 생크림 케이크란 조각. Just say 지는 밀크티를 한 모금. Just say 퍼지는 달콤한 향기에 고민은 마법같이 fade out. 지친 너를 위한 나의 kingdom. 하루 종일 엉망진창 everything's messed up. 구림 없는 잔소리에 싸고 먼칠 partner. 지치고 힘들어 관두고 싶을 땐 언제나 여기 있으리리 생각해. You're just my beautiful light. 너를 만나고 싶어. 오늘도 내일도 난 Stay me in my kingdom. 네 안에 모든 거 강해질 수 있어. 언제든 너에게 I'll be your energy.